So good evening everyone, and guys, welcome to your another session of your monthly current affairs revision, where when if I talk about this specific session, guys, we have started this journey from the month of January onwards. Okay, so the January month is clear cover. We have covered the January schemes, reports, your current affairs and RBI notifications. Then we go with the month of February, March, April. And if I talk about now, guys, for the month of May also, the scheme session has already been taken, the report session is taken, and now today we are going with the next session, that is on current affairs, where we are excluding. See, remember one thing, many of you might be feeling, looking at this specific thumbnail, that is it's all current affairs session. No guys, here what we have done is we have covered schemes separately, reports have been covered separately, and then if I talk about RBI notifications, they are going to be covered next week. उसके अलावा जो करंट अफेयर्स है वो हम यहाँ पे लेते हैं, जिसमें आपका अगर आप नाबार्ड और आरबीआई एस्पिरेंट है तो आपने सुने होंगे टर्म्स लाइक जनरल अवेयरनेस, वेयर द टॉपिक्स लाइक अवार्ड्स, पर्सन्स इन न्यूज, बुक्स एंड ऑथर्स, which Devanshu is going to discuss today in terms of general awareness section. Then economic and social issues being mentioned in both your syllabus of RBI as well as NABARD. So that I will be taking today. ठीक है, and I have been taking this session also with you from the month of January since. तो ठीक है, और फिर आप एक पर्सन को यहाँ पे मिस कर रहे हो, that is कृतिका मैम. So she will be going with the finance current affairs. Okay, but not RBI notifications. The other finance current affairs related to SEBI, PFRD, she will be taking here. ठीक है जी. So before I begin, guys, I just want to have an interaction with Devanshu. So Devanshu sir, we have been taking these sessions since the month of January, and now obviously there will be a talk in the mind of student कि अभी notification आएगा नहीं आएगा, पता नहीं आने वाला है. So in your opinion, what will be your, आप मैं बोलूँगा कि आप क्या गाइड करोगे उनको कि अभी वो नोटिफिकेशन की वेट करें या फिर अभी से उनको प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए?
So first of all, good evening to everyone and all the future officers. और यहाँ पर एक important चीज़ है सर कि instead of waiting for the notification, I think it's the high time to start with our current affairs preparation. क्योंकि जितना हम डिले करेंगे अपनी current affairs की preparation में, so उतना revision का time हमें काफ़ी कम मिलने वाला है. And when it comes to the current affairs, revision is the key. So that's why हमें ensure करना चाहिए कि हम अपनी preparation सिर्फ प्रिपरेशन ना करें बल्कि अब रिवीजन भी अच्छे से करने लग जाए, सो दैट बाय द टाइम एग्जाम नोटिफिकेशन इज बीइंग आउट वी आर ऑलमोस्ट रेडी विद आवर कंप्लीट प्रिपरेशन फॉर द अपकमिंग एग्जामिनेशन.
ठीक है, तो उसी कंटेक्स्ट में इफ आई टॉक अबाउट टुडे दिवांश सर, मई मंथ, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट जनरली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द नाबार्ड, जो नाबार्ड जनरली सितंबर अक्टूबर के आसपास नाबार्ड एग्जाम तो आ ही जाता है. वी ऑलवेज से मई जून जुलाई अगस्त बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर नाबार्ड एस्पिरेंट. ऑब्वियसली अगर मैं बात करूँ, काफी बच्चे हो सकते हैं जो शायद पीएफआरडी एग्जाम आ चुका है, ठीक है, एंड दे माइट बी प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर पीएफआरडी एग्जामिनेशन आल्सो. सो व्हाट विल बी योर इनिशियल सेट ऑफ गाइड, इनिशियल सेट ऑफ आई वुड से एक काइंड ऑफ, अगर हम बात बोलें कि उन स्टूडेंट्स में जो पीएफआरडी की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, उनको आपका क्या एक आप बोलोगे कि मैसेज रहेगा कि इन सेशंस में उनके लिए क्या टेक अवे है?
सो डेफिनेटली पीएफआरडी एग्जाम के अंदर भी आपका जनरल अवेयरनेस काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है और बाकी के कुछ और कंपोनेंट्स भी हैं जो हम अपने सेशंस के अंदर कवर कर रहे हैं. सो आई थिंक पीएफआरडी वाले जो एस्पिरेंट्स हैं वो इन सेशंस को डेफिनेटली फॉलो करें एंड दे कैन गेट द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ दीज सेशंस सो दैट दे आर रियली इन द राइट डायरेक्शन कि वो आगे आने वाले टाइम में दे विल बी लुकिंग एट देमसेल्व्स एज अ पीएफआरडी ग्रेड ए ऑफिसर.
ओके गाइस, सो थैंक यू सर. सो नाउ गाइस लेट्स बिगिन द सेशन. हियर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा चेंज होगा. We will start with economic and social issues first, then we will go towards finance, current affairs, and obviously at end जो मैंने PFRD वालों बच्चों को भी बोला है, देवांश सर आ रहे हैं जनरल अवेयरनेस के सेशंस क्वेश्चंस लेके, and that would be, I think that would be really helpful if you are preparing for the PFRD examination. Okay guys, so you guys, that is just a brief from ourselves, from my team. Now I just wanted to say that whether you guys are able to hear us properly, you guys are able to see us properly, and do let us know in the chat section that are you guys ready for the session. Quickly tell me in the chat section that yes sir we are ready, so that we can begin with the session here. जल्दी जल्दी बता दो, चलो. Okay, so we can see that yes, many of you are saying yes sir we are ready. So let's begin with the session and let's begin with our first important segment, that is with regards to economic and social issues. But there is one important announcement for all of you guys. It's not that just a single session we are taking on. We are already taking the many YouTube sessions with regards to current affairs. If we talk about here, many of you might be familiar with our current affairs series that we are taking on, but अगर नहीं हो तो मैं आपको थोड़ा सा brief कर दूं, then I am going to start here. We are basically running 4 series on current affairs, that is CT 360, we have government scheme session, we have finance 360 session, and then we have perspective 360 classes. Coming to government scheme, the perspective 360 which we are taking on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Okay ji, that is at 10:30 AM. which I am taking your government scheme session. This current sir is coming on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. with regards to your descriptive answer practice, that is perspective 360. Then coming to CT 360, which is about your regulatory body students, that is GA plus economic and social issues are being covered here. Okay ji, which we are coming on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, that is at 5 p.m. Or finance 360, where we are actually covering the RBI notifications, that we are taking on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, that is at 10 a.m. For that guys, for getting to know more about these sessions also, please subscribe to our channel. Playlist are being created, आप वहां से भी benefits ले सकते हैं specific sessions का, because काफी चीजें जो हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस करते हैं वो ऑलरेडी हम वहां पे पढ़ा चुकी हैं. बाकी for the PDF you can subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link for that is given in the description below. And now I can say many of you are saying yes sir, we are ready. So let's begin with our first topic or first segment of the session, that is economic and social issues. And let's start with my first question of the day. That is regarding the National Zero Measles Rubella Elimination Campaign. That has been a program that has been started by the government of India. Measles Rubella Elimination Program has been started. My question is simple. If you look at this question, the question is first of all, what is the target year for us, which we are saying that we are going to eliminate measles and rubella from India. Second is, India was being honored with the Measles and Rubella Championship Award, okay, or Champion Award in which year for its significant progress in the disease prevention here. Tell me what will be the answer here, quickly. Okay, ji. Gururaj is saying, sir, option B should be the answer. Let's see option B, option B, option B. Let's see. What about the others, guys? And I want now all of you to participate. थोड़ा सा rapidly participate करेंगे, because जो questions easy हैं उसको easy रखेंगे, जो questions difficult है we will discuss about that also in the sessions. So it's a very easy question. Let us start with, that is option number B, because the target here is 2026. We are targeting actually the elimination of measles and rubella. That is the target we are targeting by 2026. And this was the important information that we have shared also in the magazine of Current Tap also, जहाँ पर डिस्कस किया था that India was awarded the Measles and Rubella Championship Award for the year 2024. ठीक है, for its effort in preserving the measles and rubella disease here. Now, if we talk about another important disease, let's about tuberculosis. Can you tell me what is the target of India for elimination of tuberculosis? Important thing है. अब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा यार इस पे बहुत क्वेश्चन हमें देखने को मिले हैं. इफ यू लुक एट द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस, बहुत कम क्वेश्चंस आए डिजीज के ऊपर, बट समहाउ आई वुड से स्टिल दे आर इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज अगर गवर्नमेंट इतना बड़ा इनिशिएटिव ले रहा है एंड सोशल सेक्टर हेल्थ इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट मेंशन्ड इन NABARD, social justice is a component mentioned in RBI, so you might expect a question. ठीक है जी. So TB we have a target of 2025. Now with regards to malaria, our target is 2030. Now can you tell me in terms of indigenous cases, what is the target of India with regards to malaria for indigenous cases? इंडिजिनस मतलब इंडिया के अंदर हम चाहते हैं, हम 0 केसेस रिपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, बाय विच ईयर, विच इज विद इन इंडिया. व्हाट इज द टारगेट हियर फॉर दैट, फॉर मलेरिया? दैट इज 2028. इंपॉर्टेंट जी. टीबी हो गया, मलेरिया हो गया. देन एक इंपॉर्टेंट डिजीज है जिसके ऊपर हमें NABARD, हमें RBI ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन पूछ चुका है, दैट इज सिकल सेल अनीमिया. ठीक है, आई थिंक NABARD या RBI दोनों में से एक ने पूछा, सिकल सेल एनीमिया मिशन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन था, एंड द टारगेट फॉर एलिमिनेशन वाज 2047. आई थिंक इट वाज NABARD ने पूछा था. सिकल सेल 2047 है, इंडिजीनियस 2028 तक, मलेरिया का है 2030 है, और ये था हमारा 2025 है. ओके जी, चलिए लेट्स बिगिन विद माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर द डे, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. As reiterated by the Indian government during the 78th World Health Assembly. So 78th World Health Assembly has taken place in Geneva. ठीक है जी. First of all, do let me know in the chat section what is the theme for this specific event. And during this conference, India has talked about its, first of all, India has talked about the traditional medicine, its support to the traditional medicine decade. ठीक है जी. Second of all, it talked about the global traditional medicine center that was established in Jamnagar. Now the question I have asked you from the background of this specific information, that in which year actually your traditional center for Jamnagar, that was in Jamnagar, has been set up in India. कौन से साल में बना था जी ये क्वेश्चन? And now my dear friends, guys, you might be feeling कि यार सर ऐसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे. बिल्कुल देखो RBI का एग्जाम देखो पिछले साल का, ऑब्वियसली क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड भी आते हैं, ठीक है, कुछ बड़े भी आएंगे, बट अगर आप देखोगे पिछली बार क्वेश्चंस थे डेप्थ में बट थे स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, तो ये भी लगता है हमें बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है क्योंकि हमने बहुत बार पढ़ा हुआ है, बट है थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड से। तो कब बना था जी? दैट वाज इन द ईयर 2022 व्हेन योर WHO's ट्रेडिशनल सेंटर फॉर मेडिसिनल सेंटर हैज बीन एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन इंडिया. Now, if we talk about here, India is first of all talked about the traditional medicine system. The global traditional medicine strategy has been supported by India, that is from 2025 to 2034. ठीक है, because India is one of the prominent country जो कि हमेशा ही traditional medicine को बहुत ज्यादा support करता है. Where if I talk about here, in context of that, our Ministry of Ayush, you can see is one of the important thing which India is showing, which shows us that India is quite serious about its initiatives on ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन. बिकॉज इंडिया ने खुद ही बनाया ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन को लेकर, तो हमने ही जेनेटिक मेडिसिन की स्कीम बनाई हुई है PMBJP. ठीक है, लुक्स लाइक दैट वी आर डिपिक्टिंग द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ऑफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर, बट इसका स्कीम का नाम बहुत सही है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर भारतीय जन औषधि परियोजना. दैट्स अगेन अबाउट जेनेटिक मेडिसिन, है ना. तो आप यहाँ पे जेनेटिक मेडिसिन की बात कर रहे हो, तो कहीं ना कहीं इंडिया इज टेकिंग इनिशिएटिव्स टुवर्ड्स दैट थिंग. दैट इज शोज दैट इंडिया शोड हियर आल्सो, हम लोग काफी ज्यादा सीरियस है इस चीज को लेके. ठीक है, इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रेटजी. थीम क्या थी? दैट इज वन वर्ल्ड फॉर हेल्थ. ओके, चलो लेट्स बिगिन विद माय थर्ड क्वेश्चन. दिस इज समहाउ अ लिटिल बिट इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन बिकॉज जनरली व्हेन यू गो टू द एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ RBI एंड NABARD, यहां पे आप ऐसे क्वेश्चंस, मैं नहीं कहता आपको सारे कन्वेंशन याद होने चाहिए, but because the conference of parties with regards to BRS convention, the Basel convention, Rotterdam convention and Stockholm convention has taken place, the only thing you must remember here is, I am not saying कि यार conventions के बारे में पूरा डिटेल पढ़ो, बट आपको बेसिक पता होना चाहिए कि बेसल कन्वेंशन किसकी बात करता है, स्टॉकहोम कन्वेंशन किसकी बात करता है, रॉटरडैम कन्वेंशन किसकी बात करता है. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट हियर दीज कन्वेंशंस, सो बेसल was signed in 1989, Rotterdam in 1998 and the Stockholm convention was signed in 2001. So based on this thing, please to let me know what will be the answer here. The Basel Convention, the keywords if I talk about here is on the trans-boundary movement of hazardous waste here. The Rotterdam Convention is basically on the management of chemical and waste here. Stockholm Convention, the keyword is production, use and release of persistent organic pollutants. Now if I talk about here, the prominent thing which we are talking about here is actually about the hazardous waste reduction. So what will be the right answer here, guys? If we go by the statements, all the statements are actually matched correctly. So right answer will be option number B. It's absolutely right. Basel Convention is a convention which actually focuses on trans-boundary movement of hazardous waste. ठीक है जी, जो हमारे वेस्ट होते हैं उनको हम जो मूव कर देते हैं ना, तो उनको कैसे कम कर सकते हैं, so that we can minimize the risk of human health. Then second part is the Rotterdam Convention that was signed in 1998. The objective here is basically how we have to manage the chemical and waste, where we will include international corporations also, because for management cooperation is important. Then comes your Stockholm Convention which talks about the persistent organic pollutants, जो कहीं ना कहीं अगर मैं POPs की बात करूं ना यार, हमारे जो रेफ्रिजरेटर्स हैं या जो हमारे एसीज हैं, यहाँ पे POPs का काफी ज्यादा इशू आया था, तो उसको लेकर स्टॉकहोम बहुत ज्यादा सीरियस था कि हम लोगों को जो ये POPs persistent organic pollutants जो रिलीज होते हैं, how we can manage them, that we have to see here. Okay, so all these are matched correctly here, and this was the thing here. Okay, so this BCR convention, which we say BRS also, Basel, Rotterdam and Stockholm convention has taken place, जिसका theme था make visible the invisible and sound management of chemicals and waste here. Okay ji, now this is the basic thing, because India has also participated in this conference, so that is why you must have an idea about what these conferences are all about here. Let's move toward my next question, question number 4. So there is a conference that has taken place, that is Columbia India Energy Dialogue has taken place in the month of May. Now here, when this conference has taken place, India has specifically talked about its contribution with regards to global carbon emission, ठीक है जी, and it has talked about the कितना परसेंट हम world population का यहाँ पे contribute कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, सो इंडिया ने ये बोला है कि हमारी कितनी परसेंट पॉपुलेशन है वर्ल्ड की, ठीक है, एंड द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इट हैज आल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट द परसेंटेज ऑफ ग्लोबल कार्बन एमिशन दैट व्हिच इंडिया इज डूइंग हियर. ओके उपासना से मेरी काफी टाइम कुछ टाइम पहले बात हुई थी. उपासना स्टिल सेइंग सर आई एम ओवरवेल्म्ड हियर. See, that will always come the thing. When I talk about current affairs, it's not just about Upasana, it will be with many students, guys, who are in this session. You always feel overwhelmed with the terms of current affairs. Because बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें आती हैं, क्या छोड़ूं, क्या ना छोड़ूं, क्या पढ़ूं या क्या ना पढ़ूं. तो मैं वही कह रहा हूं कि जो बेसिक कन्वेंशन वाला क्वेश्चन है, that I've told you also. मैं एक चीज़ आपको दोबारा बताता हूं इस क्वेश्चन के बाद, how to manage the current affairs. It's being a reality here. We cannot say कि हमें 100% करंट अफेयर याद होगा, बट करंट अफेयर्स मैनेज कैसे करना है इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा समझते हैं, फिर हम अगले क्वेश्चन पे आएंगे. अब इसका आंसर क्या है? इसका आंसर है जी एक्चुअल में ऑप्शन नंबर ए. इंडिया इज एक्चुअली कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग 3% ऑफ द ग्लोबल कार्बन एमिशन एंड इंडिया हैज सेड क्लियरली कि हमारी पॉपुलेशन 17% है. द इंडिया एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज लाइक चाइना ऑल्सो दे सेज कि जब हमारी बारी आती है डेवलपमेंट करने के लिए तब आप ये कार्बन एमिशन ले आते हो. यूएस, यूके, डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, उन्होंने तो पूरा का पूरा मिस यूज किया इस चीज को. अब जब हमारी बारी आप कहते हो कि नहीं जी इसको खत्म करो, तो दैट इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट मेड बाय इंडिया कि इंडिया सिर्फ 3% ही ग्लोबल कार्बन एमिशन करता है. इंडिया इज ऑल्सो रियली फोकसिंग हार्ड वेयर वी हैव अवर पंच अमृत स्ट्रेटेजी. ठीक है ना, जहां पे हम बोल रहे हैं वी वांट टू मेक 500 गीगावाट ऑफ non-renewable energy we are going to do by the year 2030. Then we are saying by 2070 we want to be a net zero emitter. ये टारगेट है 2070 तक का इंडिया का. ठीक है ना. नाउ the thing that we were discussing here, let's proceed, let's discuss a little bit about that thing. फिर हम नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे आते हैं. Current affairs are always overwhelmed. I completely agree to that part because you will be reading lot of information and it's a very simple, it's a very humanistic nature. हमें चीजें भूलेंगे. अब क्या करो, मैंने ये चीज काफी बच्चों से बोली भी है, मैं यहां भी बोलूंगा. दोस्तों सबसे पहले आपको करना क्या है, आपको अपना ये बनाना है स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट एंड थ्रेट पॉइंट. स्ट्रॉन्ग, स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटी, थ्रेट. You should always know about your strong point. In terms of current affairs, whenever you are giving any mock test, whenever you are giving any session, you must know that whether this is my strength here or not. There will be some part in current affairs which you will always feel कि याद नहीं होने वाला. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम ये बेसिक कन्वेंशन वाला क्वेश्चन ले आते हैं, आपको लग रहा है कि कन्वेंशन इज नॉट माई स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्टे, आई कैन नॉट परफॉर्म वेल देयर. बट अगर हाँ ऐसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे, कोलंबिया वाला डायलॉग आएगा, इप्स का आता है, ब्रिक्स आ जाता है, कोलंबो सिक्योरिटी कॉन्क्लेव आ जाता है, या फिर मैं बात करूं क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, आई एम कंफर्टेबल. सो ऑलवेज फोकस ऑन योर स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज. यहां पे इतना कर जाओ कि यू शुड नो अ बेसिक हियर, कवर द बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन हियर, बिल्कुल मत छोड़ दो. ठीक है, ये चीज करनी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जब हम स्कीम्स के सेशन ले रहे हैं, फिर टॉक अबाउट द सेशंस दैट वी आर टेकिंग, यही तो हमारा भी काम है यहां पे. जब मैं आपके साथ स्कीम्स का सेशन ले रहा हूं, मैं आपको क्या बोल रहा हूं कि स्कीम्स को समझो. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर डूइंग आल्सो ना मयंक. मैं कहता हूं आप सेशन में आओ, आप बोलो कि सर स्कीम समझ नहीं आती, सर स्कीम बदलने नहीं पड़ रही. स्कीम समझो, उसके बाद जब उसको हम पढ़ेंगे, तब जब हम सेशंस लेके आते हैं मंथली में, क्या बोलता हूं, पॉइंटर फॉर्मेट याद रखो. रीडिंग अ स्कीम इज वन थिंग, आपने स्कीम समझ ली, सब कुछ कर लिया, अब आपको लगता है पॉइंटर रिवीजन है, जो आपको पॉइंट्स डिफिकल्ट लग रहे हैं वो लिख लो अपने पास. वो चीज आपको यहां पे भी करनी है. गेटिंग दैट पॉइंट गाइड्स. ठीक है, सो प्लीज डू लेट मी नो कि क्या आपको, आप में से कौन कौन बच्चा अपना स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट और थ्रेट पॉइंट जानता है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू फील दैट यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद योर स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट एंड थ्रेट पॉइंट. ठीक है, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव आइडेंटिफाइड दिस पॉइंट्स, स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट एंड थ्रेट पॉइंट हियर. ठीक है, तो बताओ जी, लग रहा है ना यार. पहले यार मैं बताऊंगा, जैसे जैसे पढ़ोगे ना, जैसे जैसे पढ़ोगे वैसे बनेंगे. ऐसा नहीं कि आज ही बन जाएंगे, मैं आपको ऑनेस्टली बताता हूं. इट विल नॉट बी अ केस लाइक दैट टुडे व्हेन वी आर सिटिंग वी विल से कि यार मैंने आज पहली बार मैगजीन पढ़ी, मुझे पता है मेरा स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट. नहीं, अगर आप लोगों को आइडेंटिफाइड अपना स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट, तो आई ऑलवेज से वर्क हार्ड ऑन योर स्ट्रेंथ पॉइंट. और जहां पे आपको लग रहा है ना कि मेरा थ्रेट है, उसको उतना कर लो कि लेट्स जस्ट copy it up. And obviously if you identify your strength points, now the students who are saying, Upasana is saying, Shanika is saying, Purva is saying, Guru Raj is saying, you will definitely feel a sense of confidence in you when you are attempting these questions. You will always feel, आपको डर नहीं कम लगेगा, ये मैं आपको बता देता हूं, है ना जी. हर्षल इज वेरी गुड टू से दैट सर आई फील मेरी सारे ही वीकनेस है। देखिए वीकनेस में भी आपको पता चल जाता है कौन सा वीक एरिया का मतलब है आपको बिल्कुल समझ ही नहीं आता, और वो हो सकता है स्कीम्स भी हो। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि मैं स्कीम्स पढ़ा रहा हूं तो स्कीम आपका वीक एरिया नहीं हो सकता है यार। लेट्स ट्राई टू कम्युनिकेट। तो वही मैं कहता हूं कोई भी इशू आता है हम हमेशा आपके साथ हैं। जस्ट ड्रॉप मी एन ईमेल एट hello@edutap.co.in। आप मुझसे कनेक्ट कर लो, दिवांश सर से कनेक्ट कर लो, जिसमें भी डाउट आता है ट्राई टू कनेक्ट, ताकि वो चीज को हम स्ट्रीमलाइन कर सके। ओके जी, चलो लेट्स कम बैक टू द सेशन अगेन हियर with regards to this specific question. So that is the answer कि Globe, Columbia, Energy, India dialogue. This is what India has basically said here. Let's talk about the next question here. That's again regarding the sustainable development. That is the question is as reported by India during the 20th session of United Nations Forum on Forest held at the UN headquarters in New York. What is the current percentage of India's geographical area under forest century according to the Indian State of Forest report? अब ये क्वेश्चन बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेड आप कर सकते हो इन बोथ आरबीआई एंड नाबार्ड, बिकॉज स्लोली एंड स्लोली समटाइम्स आरबीआई आल्सो फोकसेस ऑन समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी प्रोमिनेंट। दे कैन आस्क यू क्वेश्चन हियर। Super, can we take the session? Can I take that queries at the end? ठीक है, with respect to short notes, if you can make, you should make. I would say definitely बनाने चाहिए shorter points, ताकि वो पूरी न्यूज़ तो याद नहीं, बस पॉइंटर होना चाहिए। ठीक है, let's come back here. That is regarding the option number C, 25.17% is the right answer here. Okay जी, चलिए। Fifth answer C is the right answer. Tina is asking where you will get the PDF. Tina, for that you can subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link for that is given in the description below. There you will get the PDF. Okay. Chalo. Now in the same conference, we have talked about the United Nations Strategic Plan for Forest, that is from 2017 to 2030, which somehow I would say is more important for NABARD. ज़्यादा chances है, but again मैं बोलूँगा यार RBI वाले छोड़ के मत जाना, because RBI भी somehow now they are also asking questions on some, जैसे वर्ल्ड फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट पे क्वेश्चन पूछ चुके हैं आरबीआई अभी पिछले 2-3 साल पहले, तो फिर ये भी तो पूछ सकते हैं स्टेट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट के ऊपर। ये तो इंडिया की खुद की रिपोर्ट है। ठीक है, नाउ टेल मी एज पर अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस स्पेसिफिक यूनाइटेड नेशंस स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान फॉर फॉरेस्ट व्हाट विल बी द राइट आंसर, व्हिच ऑफ द गिवन स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट? द यूनाइटेड नेशन Forum on Forest was established in 2000, which is under the Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, to promote the sustainable forest management. The UN Strategic Plan for Forest that got launched in the year 2017, and it basically outlines your 6 global forest goals, 26 voluntary targets to be achieved by the year 2030. And then we have the strategic plan, both aims to support global agreements such as Paris Agreement, Aichi biodiversity targets, and sustainable development goals. So which of the given statements are correct here? The right answer will be that's option number D, because all the statements given here are actually correct. Okay. Now, when I talk about this specific conference, so first of all, let's talk about what is the important thing mentioned. One of the important thing is that if we talk about India has reported an increase in forestry coverage, where we have said now 25.17% of geographical area we have been covered with the forest area. Then let's talk about these two prominent initiatives. First of all is your United Nations Forum on Forest, जहां पे कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है होता क्या है? When I talk about United Nations Forum on Forest, it got established in the year 2000. Okay, here the body is Economic and Social Council. ठीक है जी, और सिंपल बात है, how we can manage, conserve and sustainably strengthen all types of forest and your political commitments towards this specific thing here. ठीक है जी, यूनिवर्सल मेंबरशिप है, ऑल यूएन मेंबर स्टेट्स एंड स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसीज आर एक्चुअली मेंबर्स ऑफ दिस स्पेसिफिक फोरम हियर. Now let's talk about the important thing, the strategic plan that has been created from 2017 to 2030. The one of the important thing when you talk about the plan is it's the first ever UN strategic plan that has been set up for the forest here. Now this plan basically focuses on your 6 global forest goals, ठीक है जी, and your voluntary universal targets जो कि 2030 तक हमें अचीव करने हैं. Now the important is it progresses on sustainable development goals, Aichi agreement, Paris agreement and other international forest related commitments here. Now I have a homework question for all of you. You have to tell me in the comment section, guys, all of you जो भी सेशन देख रहे हैं, you must tell me in the comment section what are the 6 goals. ठीक है, what are the 6 goals of your UN strategic plan for forest that आर देयर। 6 ग्लोबल फॉरेस्ट गोल्स के बारे में आपको मुझे यहाँ पे कमेंट सेक्शन में बताना है in the session here. And obviously when Devanshu sir will be taking tomorrow's session, he will be discussing with you these 6 forest goals, and he will be obviously announcing the name of the winners also in tomorrow's session here. So let's begin with my next question here. That's question number 7. Now India and the European Union have launched the 2 major joint research calls under the India-European Union Trade and Technology Council to address the marine plastic and waste to hydrogen solutions here. Now, these initiatives are co-funded by the Government of India and European Union's flagship research and innovation program. So, tell me which is the program of European Union which is being involved here for this specific initiative. And now, if we talk about this specific thing, guys, अगर हम हाइड्रोजन की बात करें तो you must always remember about your green hydrogen mission here. Now, can you tell me how much gigawatt of energy or renewable energy we are targeting that we can produce by the green hydrogen? That is 125 gigawatt. फिर हमने यहाँ पे क्या डिस्कस किया था? What is the objective? We want to reduce $1 trillion का जो हमारा आप कह सकते हैं इंपोर्ट हम कम करने वाले हैं, $8 trillion का हम यहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट करवाने वाले हैं. फिर आई हैव टोल्ड यू दैट इनिशियल टारगेट इज 5 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन. 5 million metric ton of green hydrogen production is our target, initial target that we have to achieve by the 2030. अगर वो अचीव हो जाता है, we want to enhance it to 10 million metric ton here. So what is the answer? Now ये तो मैंने आपको इसका रिवीजन करवा दिया बेसिक, ठीक है जी. Now let's talk about the thing here that is Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is the actually European research and innovation program which we have, which is being collaborating here for this marine and waste to hydrogen energy production here. Okay, so Devanshu sir has taken a session on this specific thing, that is project marine pollution and green hydrogen. He has already taken a session on our CT360 session. So for that, when you will get the PDF, आप यहाँ पर जाके क्लिक कर लेना और आप इस सेशन को भी यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. ठीक है, एंड आई वुड ऑलवेज से गाइस CT360 सेशंस आर अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. आप उनको भी देखिए बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं वो आप पढ़ के यहाँ पे आपका रिविजन और इजी हो सकता है. चलिए जी, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इन रिसेंट इयर्स द सिग्निफिकेंट स्ट्राइड्स हैव बीन मेड इन कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एशियाटिक लाइन. ठीक है, पर्टिकुलरली इन गुजरात वेयर दी, आपको मुझे बताना बिकॉज रिसेंटली द एशियाटिक लाइन सेंसस हैज टेकन प्लेस. सो टेल मी व्हिच एशियाटिक लाइन सेंसस हैज रिसेंटली टेकन प्लेस, व्हिच हैज told us or which has told us that there will be 891 lions across 11 districts of Gujarat, because we know in India the आप कह सकते हैं the hub of Asiatic lion और the area जहां पे Asiatic lions रहते हैं वो कौन सा है? वो गुजरात ही है, इकलौती स्टेट इंडिया में. ठीक है, and after every how many years the census are conducted? So the answer is that is recently the 16th census has been conducted, and it is after every 5 years that your census are actually taking place here. So this is the thing guys, that's about the 16th Asiatic lion census. Now it has taken place in 2 phases, direct beneficiation and the enumeration here. This is the only thing you need to remember, जिस पे क्वेश्चन आने के चांस ज्यादा है. Total number of lions 891 are there, which has been a significant increase from 674 in 2020. Adult male are 196 and the remaining remaining lions are basically female lions. You can talk about your cubs or sub-adults are basically being there. Let's talk about my next question. That is actually recently India has hosted the second Blue Talks to advance global efforts ahead of the 3rd United Nations conference, which is going to be held in France here. The initiatives are aligned with sustainable development goals, which sustainable development goal it has been aligned with, which focuses on conservation sustainability using ocean, sea and marine resources. Now this is actually about, this information is about the United Nations Ocean Conference, but my question to you guys is actually about the sustainable development goals. अब बहुत बार आपको चीजें पता होना चाहिए कि because SDGs are very very important. ठीक है, so it's basically a relation here that which SDG is actually talking about the oceans here. So we know the answer is very very easy, that is Sustainable Development Goal 14, that is life underwater. Okay, so it is talking about Sustainable Development Goal 14, and if I talk about this conference, so it has been co-hosted by France and Costa Rica. ठीक है, venue it is going to take place in France with the theme accelerating action and mobilizing all actors to conserve and sustainably use the oceans here. Okay, so let's begin the next question here. Question is on now snow leopards here. So So it is saying India's snow leopard population assessment revealed that there are 718 snow leopards which are representing about 10 to 15% of the global population. ठीक है? So India has highlighted its project Snow Leopard also during this first Sagar Matha Sambad campaign. Now, first of all, my first question is that the Sagar Matha Sambad campaign or Sagar Matha Sambad initiative, for the first time, it has taken place in which country? You have to tell me this question also, but also to let me know which country this Sagar Matha Sambad campaign has taken place. India has also participated here, but कहाँ पे हुआ है? Where it has taken place? Or Gururaj, I can get the answer, but tell me, can you tell me where it is taking place? In which country it has taken place? Absolutely right, guys. It has taken place in Nepal. Because India has highlighted about its snow leopards, so there are around 12 snow leopard range countries here. Now, question is which among the following are not among these 12 range countries? And if I talk about this question, it's a difficult question. अब वही कह रहा हूं ना, स्वॉट एनालिसिस. अब हो सकता है आपको सारा पता है, बट आपको पता है कि 12 नहीं याद होने वाले. So in between the news also you will see that there will be some points where you will feel कि okay यार ये नहीं होंगे. Let me leave that point. बाकी याद कर. चलो जी. So if I talk about which among the following is not a country here, the answer will be option number B. 4 and 5 is the right answer because Bangladesh and Turkmenistan में leopards ही नहीं है, snow leopards नहीं है. It's basically famous for tigers, but snow leopards यहाँ पे नहीं है. If I talk about here, so basically the conference that has taken place, first of all, India has highlighted about the South Asia's contribution, which says only 4% of the historical carbon dioxide emission has been there, where we are having 25% of the 25% of the global population. Then India has talked about its snow leopard initiative. इसके साथ इंडिया ने ये 5 एक्शंस पे फोकस किया है. India has talked about its 5 action plan for global action, which if I talk about here are very, very important for your descriptive answer writing. You can clearly write them. That is about enhanced scientific cooperation, your building climate resilience, where we are talking about the early warning systems like glacier, lake, outburst floods, जो आपको दिख रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहे हैं. Climate resilient infrastructure बनाना पड़ेगा. We have to empower the mountain communities, where we have to integrate the welfare, traditional knowledge and sustainable tourism here. Providing green financing. So where we have to basically talk about the climate finance under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and recognition of the mountains perspectives, inclusion of mountains, global climate negotiations and sustainable development goals is the thing here. Now when I talk about snow leopard, तो ये state animal किसका है? लद्दाख और हिमाचल प्रदेश का, because वहां पे ही generally high terrain areas में दिखता है. And then if I talk about 12 snow leopard range countries, these are Afghanistan, Bhutan, China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan are the basically countries which are here. Okay जी. Now let's talk about my next question here. Question number 9. चलो जी, अब यहाँ पे तो मैं ही खड़ा हो जाता हूँ आपके सामने. So you can see a question behind me. The question is, recently in the month of May, the Union Minister of Science and Technology has actually cited the purple revolution as a symbol of grassroots innovation, which is promoting through the agri startups in northern India. The revolution is driven by the cultivation of which among the following crop here, which has empowered the farmers in the regions of Jammu and Kashmir. So what will be the answer here? Question number 9. The answer is actually lavender. Lavender जो है जिसको आप purple revolution बोलते हो. So this is the thing that has been written here. The Union Minister of Science and Technology has lauded the Indian Institute of Technology ROPER for its role in promoting agri startups, where it has basically highlighted about the purple revolution also. ठीक है जी, which was cited as an example of grassroots agriculture innovation in the northern India here. ठीक है जी, चलिए. Let's talk about my next question. Question number 10. Recently in the month of May 2025, during the World Bank's Land Conference that has taken place in Washington, India has presented its innovative rural governance tools such as the Gram Manchitra platform. Now the question I'm asking you is with regards to this Gram Manchitra platform. This platform is a geographical information system application launched in which year by which specific Ministry of India to support the Gram Panchayats in preparing the effective Gram Panchayat development plans here. So tell me what will be the answer here. Okay जी, so what is the answer here? It's a very simple question. अगर आपको मिनिस्ट्री पता है आप थर्ड आंसर निकाल लोगे. So it is an initiative of Gram Panchayat, which is an initiative of Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and it was launched in the year 2019. Okay, so when I talk about this World Bank Land Conference, guys, the thing was that the theme here was securing the land tenure and access for climate action is the theme for this World Bank's Land Conference. Now, if I talk about here, India has acted as a country champion at this specific conference where India has highlighted about its Gram Manchitra platform. जो है क्या? It's a simple geographical information system application which is being developed by Ministry of Panchayati Raj for basically doing the planning. Better planning can be done at the Gram Panchayat level. This is what this Gram Manchitra platform is all about here. Okay जी, let's talk about my next question that is on overseas citizen of India. ठीक है जी. So guys, as of May, under the provision of the Overseas Citizen of India schemes governed by the Citizenship 1955, a person or their ancestor must have been an Indian citizen on or after which of the following date so that they can be registered as an OCI card holder. So tell me what will be the answer here. Tell me guys what will be the answer here. So what is the answer? Answer here is actually 26th of January 1950. क्योंकि आपका सिटीजनशिप एक्ट 1951 में आया था, ठीक है, एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ दैट थिंग योर ओवरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया स्कीम वाज लॉन्च्ड. नाउ व्हाट इज द सिंपल थिंग ऑफ ओवरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया? ओवरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, एंड दिस इज मोस्ट प्रोबेबली इफ आई टॉक अबाउट नाबार्ड के लिए थोड़ा सा ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज नाबार्ड इंडियन पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम पे ज्यादा खेलता है, आरबीआई थोड़ा सा कम खेलता है, ठीक है. इट विल प्रोवाइड अ सीमलेस एंड सिक्योर रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस फॉर द ओवरसीज सिटीजंस, ठीक है जी, विच इज बीइंग डन बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स. And it provides a world-class immigration services also. Now, who are overseas citizens? These are these persons who are basically from Indian regions, which are registered under the Citizenship Act. उनके fathers, grandfathers हो सकते हैं, but they are not a citizen of Pakistan और Bangladesh. ठीक है, चलो जी. So now let's talk about the next question that is on Niti Aayog. So recently the Prime Minister chaired the 10th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog. ठीक है जी. With the theme Viksit Rajya for Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047. My question is, which of the following is not a part of the Governing Council of Niti Aayog? Okay ji, the Prime Minister of India, Chief Minister of all states and union territories with legislature, the Vice Chairman and full-time members of the Niti Aayog, and then we have governors of all states. Now, which of the above is not a constituent of the Governing Council? That is what the question is asked. ठीक है, कौन नहीं होते हैं गवर्निंग काउंसिल के मेंबर, आपको मुझे बताना है नीति आयोग की. शनिका, एनीबडी एल्स गाइस, व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? ऑप्शन ई. लेट्स सी द आंसर. द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी. गवर्नर्स ऑफ ऑल स्टेट्स जो है बेसिकली इसके अंदर नहीं आते हैं. अगर आप गवर्निंग काउंसिल की बात करोगे तो वहां पे कौन कौन आता है? वहां पे आते हैं चीफ पर्सन, चीफ मिनिस्टर्स. रिमेंबर the point is very interesting, it is not governors who are coming, because अगर चीफ मिनिस्टर आता है तो गवर्नर क्यों आएगा? अगर चीफ मिनिस्टर आता है तो गवर्नर क्यों आएंगे? दोनों में से एक बंदा आएगा जो हेड है. एक्चुअल में इफ यू थिंक इट, हियर लिटिल बिट ऑफ इंडियन पॉलिटिकल नॉलेज इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, इफ यू लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन, लिटिल बिट ऑफ इंडियन पॉलिटिकल नॉलेज इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इफ यू सी गाइस, इफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज द एक्टिंग हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, इन स्टेट इट इज चीफ मिनिस्टर. प्रेसिडेंट क्या है? वो सिटीजन है, गवर्नर है, बट उनके पास पावर्स नहीं बिकॉज इट इज रूल्ड बाय द प्राइम मिनिस्टर. सेम हियर इन द चीफ मिनिस्टर्स, गवर्नर इज जस्ट अ डमी पावर. गवर्नर इज डू नॉट हैव अ पावर. लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर्स डू हैव अ पावर. तो यहां पे यही बोला गया है कि लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर्स विल बी द पावर, लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर्स विल बी द मेंबर हियर. फॉर एग्जांपल, फॉर जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर्स विल बी देयर, यूनियन मिनिस्टर्स विल बी देयर, एंड योर चीफ मिनिस्टर्स विल बी देयर. This is what the governing council is there, which was set up in 2015 by the cabinet secretariat. If I talk about Niti Aayog, very, very important thing. Niti Aayog, that is National Institution for Transforming India, that was set up in the year 2015 when it has replaced the earlier system of planning commission. Okay जी, अगर हम बात करें तो ये प्रीमियर पॉलिसी थिंक टैंक है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का, वेयर प्राइम मिनिस्टर द चेयरपर्सन एंड हु इज द वाइस चेयरपर्सन, दैट इज मिस्टर सुमन बेरी. एंड टेल मी, who is the former chairman of, or talk about vice chairman of Niti Aayog, who has recently joined the Fairfax Communication, जो कि कनाडा बेस्ड एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. और इंडिगो के भी, जो इंडिगो का इंटरनेशनल आपका सिस्टम है, जो इंडिगो की इंटरनेशनल एयरलाइन है, ठीक है ना, इंटरनेशनल एयरलाइन बिलोंग टू इंडिगो, उसके भी वो लीगल एडवाइजर, उनके भी वो एडवाइजर बने हैं. What is the name of that specific person? And he was also the G20 Sherpa. Can you tell me the name of that specific person? That is absolutely right. That is Amitabh Kant. Amit Kant नहीं, Amitabh Kant. Amitabh Kant. ठीक है जी, तो ये बिल्कुल सही है जी. ठीक है, बाकी सिंपल बात है यार. फ्लैगशिप इनिशिएटिव है, अटल इनोवेशन मिशन है, आपका नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लेबर इकोनॉमिक रिसर्च है, जो बेसिकली इनको सपोर्ट कर रहा है नीति आयोग है. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. So as of May 2025, the Ministry of Panchayati Raj has launched the Panchayat Assessment Index 2.0, PAI 2.0 portal has been launched to support the localization of sustainable development goals. My first question is, how many localized sustainable development goals are there? Which is 9 themes are there. Which of the following is not listed as part of the Panchayat Advancement Index? Sorry, Panchayat Advancement Index 2.0. Tell me. Tell me guys, what will be the answer here? So answer here is that is option number B. Digital employment enabled panchayat is not one of the themes here. And if I talk about here, these are very important here. बहुत important है. 9 themes of पंचायत एडवांसमेंट इंडेक्स 2.0. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब ये क्या है? द लोकलाइज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स से ही आपकी थीम्स निकली थी. ठीक है, अब लोकलाइजेशन ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स क्या था? वेयर यू हैव कैटेगराइज योर सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स इनटू 9 थीम्स विद द सिंपल ऑब्जेक्टिव कि आपने उन्हीं थीम्स को लोकलाइज वे में यूटिलाइज किया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पॉवर्टी एंड लाइवलीहुड हियर, हेल्थ, child friendly panchayat, water sufficient panchayat, clean and green panchayat, self sufficient infrastructure, then we have socially just and socially secured panchayat, and then we have panchayat with good governance. Okay, so this is the thing here. Now if I talk about here your Panchayat Advancement Index 2.0, it actually provides you a real time performance tracking of all the gram panchayats in India, which helps in local level planning, and it is aligned with the localization of sustainable development goals, which are having these 9 themes here. And it's a very important thing. You can be asked a direct question on this localized sustainable development goals also. Okay ji, chalo ji. Next question is, the India and the United Kingdom have set a target to increase the bilateral trade of US dollar. How much by 2030 as part of the recently concluded India UK free trade agreement? अब देखो, free trade agreements are very important. If I talk about RBI, we have already been asked a question on India-Australia Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement when it was launched. India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, we have been asked a question. Okay, ji. Now, this is also for the first time your India-UK Free Trade Agreement has been finalized. So, what is the target we have set up here? We have set up a target that we are actually going to, okay? We are actually going to set a target of a bilateral trade of 100 billion for the year 2030 with United Kingdom here. Okay जी, तो यही मेजर चीज था. बाकी the target was about double contribution convention agreement has been signed between both the countries here, where it is saying that we will be preventing professionals from paying social security or national insurance contribution in both countries when they are working in either of the country here. ठीक है जी. Then a 3-year exemption has also been given for social security payments for Indian employees who are working in United Kingdom. Okay, so that is the basic highlights of this specific agreement that has been signed here. Let's proceed with the next question. India has assumed the chairmanship of the Asian Productivity Organization. Okay, ji. Which of the following statements regarding Asian Productive Organization and its associated institutions are correct here? Tell me which of the given statements are correct here. The Asian Productive Organization was set up in 1961. India is a founding member and is currently hosting this membership. Is it right? The National Productivity Council established in 1958 functions under the Ministry of External Affairs. Is it Ministry of External Affairs or any other ministry here? The Asian Productivity Organization has currently 25 member countries including India, Singapore and Vietnam. अब यहाँ देखो यार, ये और ये में भी तो एक तो क्वेश्चन है ना कि क्या इंडिया मेंबर भी है या नहीं है. अब अगर यहाँ पे मेंबर है, क्या फाउंडिंग मेंबर है या नहीं है? नेक्स्ट इज, only India and Japan are permanent members of Asian Productivity Organization and they are rotating on 3 years. So what is the answer? Here actually only just the first statement is correct, rest statements are incorrect here. If we see here, Asian Productivity Organization, if I talk about here, first of all, it was set up in 1961. That's absolutely right. It's an organization which is set up in Japan. ठीक है जी, 21 member countries and ना के 25 member countries. It has 21 member countries where yes, India is here. India, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Thailand. Now I will not say to remember all these 21 names, but remember, yes, it consists of 21 members and India is one of the founding member here. Then it says the objective here is basically we want to promote the growth and mutual cooperation across the Asia Pacific region here, जिसके अंदर अगर मैं बात करूं नेशनल प्रोडक्टिविटी काउंसिल, वो आता है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री के अंदर. ठीक है जी, 1958 में ये बना था. और अगर हम बात करें, इट इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, एनपीसी इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ द टोक्यो बेस्ड एपीओ. ठीक है, टोक्यो बेस्ड जो आपका एशियन प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसका एनपीसी जो है, इट्स अ वन ऑफ अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट मेंबर है. Okay, so this is what information is about Asian Productive Organization, which is important for your examination. Now let me talk about the next important organization, again important, that is your European Free Trade Association. This is again a question here. During a discussion on India's economic growth on the European Free Trade Association was highlighted as a key partner. We have talked about this also. ठीक है जी, बहुत बार मैंने पिछले साल अगर आपने देखा तो मैंने बताया कि यूरोपियन फ्री ट्रेड एसोसिएशन के साथ इंडिया का एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ था. एंड नाउ ठीक है, ट्रेड एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ था. अब यहाँ पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अबाउट EFTA, यूरोपियन फ्री ट्रेड एसोसिएशन. इट इज एक्चुअली एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ द 4 कंट्रीज ओनली. ठीक है, सो टेल मी what will be the answer here. And with regards to European Free Trade Association, these are the countries where we have set up a legal binding agreement. ठीक है, a legal binding agreement of $100 billion commitment has been signed up here. Tell me which of the following is not a member. Answer easy है, स्विट्जरलैंड, नॉर्वे, आइसलैंड, फिनलैंड. क्या फिनलैंड मेंबर है बताओ बस. आई विल आस्क यू वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चन, क्या फिनलैंड मेंबर है? सो व्हाट विल बी द आंसर? आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी, बिकॉज फिनलैंड ही मेंबर नहीं है. नॉर्वे, आइसलैंड, स्विट्जरलैंड, विच इज द नेक्स्ट कंट्री, दैट इज लेकिस्टन, जिसको हम बोलते हैं. ठीक है जी, तो वो यहाँ पे आते हैं लेकिस्टन. So, वो आती है स्विट्जरलैंड, आइसलैंड, नॉर्वे एंड लेकिस्टन. इन 4 कंट्रीज का ही ये पार्ट है. ठीक है जी, अगर हम बात करें the agreement that has been signed here, this is a legal binding agreement which we have signed here. Okay जी, where the objective is $100 billion और हम 1 million डायरेक्ट जॉब्स जो है इंडिया में क्रिएट करने वाले हैं, which is going to be reviewed after every 10 साल के बाद हम इसको रिव्यू भी करेंगे. ठीक है जी, अरे ये कंफर्म कर लेना 10 साल है या 5 साल है, ये कंफर्म कर लेना. Now let's talk about this important thing. Why it's important? Because IMF has said that India will be becoming 3rd largest economy by the year 2027 here. ठीक है जी, अब यहाँ पे यूरोपियन फ्री ट्रेड एसोसिएशन के साथ जो हमारा एग्रीमेंट है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट आने वाला है, बिकॉज दैट्स वन ऑफ अ मेजर बूम विच विल बी गिवन टू द इंडिया बाय दिस स्पेसिफिक एग्रीमेंट हियर. ओके, जहां पे ऑब्वियसली मैंने आपको बताया कि जॉब्स विल बी क्रिएटेड. ठीक है, अनदर $500 million or it's at the $500 billion we are expecting from this thing, because अगर 1 ट्रिलियन की इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो यहां से हम एडिशनल 500 बिलियन जो है और लेके आ सकते हैं. ओके जी, चलो जी, लेट्स लुक एट अनदर पैराग्राफ बेस्ड, और सॉरी, लेट्स लुक एट अनदर मैच द फॉलोइंग बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हियर. सो रिसेंटली गाइस, द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स, फूड एंड पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन has launched several digital initiatives. Now with regards to that, you have to match the important initiatives which are being given here. The Depot Darpan portal, is it a grievance redressal platform for the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana beneficiaries, and it is being set up, pilotly start हुआ गुजरात, झारखंड और उत्तराखंड में. Then we have Anna Mitra initiative, which is a mobile app for fair price shop dealers. ठीक है जी, food inspectors to track and monitor the stock here. Then we have Anna Sahayata initiative, which is a digital self-assessment and monitoring portal for depots of the Food Corporation of India and Central Warehousing Corporation. Tell me what will be the answer here. So guys, we are just left with another 5 questions from ESI section, and then obviously Kritika ma'am will be here. Okay, so I would say to all of you, stay till the end. तो बस अगले 5 question ESI, then Kritika ma'am will be here. So what is the answer here? Answer is option number E. Actually, the Depot Darpan portal is actually portal है, तो वो digital self assessment और monitoring portal है, which is about portal here. Second is actually absolutely right, and अन्न सहायता, ये उल्टे लिखे हुए हैं. अन्न सहायता grievance redressal platform है, जबकि डेपो दर्पण पोर्टल एक डिजिटल असेसमेंट पोर्टल है फॉर मॉनिटरिंग द डिपॉजिट्स हियर. नाउ इफ आई टॉक अबाउट हियर द डेपो दर्पण पोर्टल, ठीक है, या डिपो दर्पण पोर्टल आप बोल सकते हो. इट्स अ डिजिटल सेल्फ असेसमेंट एंड मॉनिटरिंग पोर्टल which is a portal of Food Corporation of India and Central Warehousing Corporation, where it wants to ensure that all warehouses are upgraded to an excellent category. Okay. अब ये ग्रेडिंग फ्रेमवर्क है जो कि 60-40 रेशियो में ऑपरेशनल परफॉर्मेंस और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्टैंडर्ड्स पे मेजर करता है. देन वी हैव अन्न मित्रा विच इज अ मोबाइल ऐप फॉर फेयर प्राइस शॉप डीलर्स, district food and supplier offices and the food inspectors, which will talk about stock tracking, FPS monitoring and geotagging will be done here. Then we have the Ann Sahayata initiative, which is a grievance redressal platform for the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana beneficiaries. Initially, it is being piloted in गुजरात, झारखंड, तेलंगाना, त्रिपुरा और उत्तर प्रदेश. इसी में अभी पायलट पे प्रोजेक्ट पे चल रहा है. और जबकि अन्न मित्रा जो है वो पायलट हो रहा है असम, उत्तराखंड, त्रिपुरा एंड पंजाब के अंदर. ठीक है, चलो जी, अब आते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन के ऊपर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 18. इंडिया हैज रिकॉर्डेड अ टोटल फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट इनफ्लो ऑफ $81 billion, showing a 14% increase over the previous fiscals. With reference to the top 3 source countries of foreign direct investment into India, consider the following statements. Singapore accounted for the largest share among all the FDI source countries here. The UK was the second largest contributor to FDI inflows, and Mauritius contributed more foreign direct investment to India than the United States. बताइए जी कौन सी स्टेटमेंट सही है? Quickly tell me what will be the answer here. A. I can see many of you are saying option number A. Harshal is saying option number B. What about others, guys? हाँ? And tell me how's the जोश? जोश ठंडा हो गया यार? हाँ? फटाफट में बताओ यार. What will be the answer? Answer is, I can see many of you saying option number B. So let's get the answer. Option number B is the right answer here. That 1 and 3 is the right answer here. Now, can you tell me which is the second largest contributor here then? If UK is not the contributor, who is the second largest contributor? Gururaj, Meher, Harshal, Upasna, Mayank, tell me guys what will be the answer here. If UK is not the second largest contributor, then which state is the second largest contributor? अब देखिए क्या है. Maharashtra received the highest share of FDI, followed by Karnataka and Delhi. That is the important thing to be remembered. In terms of source countries, Singapore is at number 1. We have Mauritius, which is at number 2. And then we have USA, which is at number 3 here. So UK नहीं है, Mauritius number 2 पे आता है. Number 3 पे क्या आता है? United States of America आ रहा है. Okay जी. Let's begin with my next question here, guys. Recently, the Ministry of Defense has granted Miniratna category status to three defense public sector undertakings. Okay. Now, with reference to Miniratna classification, tell me which of the given statements are correct here. Miniratna status, Navratna status, they are very, very important. So, do let me know about that also in the comment section or in the chat section, which are the 3 prominent defense public sector undertakings which are actually being categorized or which are being you can talk about which are being given the status of your Miniratna company here. Quickly, guys. So this is the first thing. Companies under your Miniratna category 1 are allowed to make investments up to ₹300 crore or up to 50% of their net worth. Second is, to qualify for a Miniratna category 1 company, it must have earned a profit in last 3 years and a pre-tax profit of ₹30 crore. Is it right? 30 crore or less than 30 crores? Miniratna category 1 companies are allowed to form a joint venture and sign technology partnership independently. क्या हो सकता है, क्या नहीं हो सकता है? What will be the answer here? So guys, the answer is option number B. 2 and 3 are right here. ठीक है? Why the first statement is wrong? Can you tell me? Now, if I talk about here, first of all, the Munition India Limited, Armored Vehicles Nigam Limited और Indian Optal Limited, जो कि ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड के अंदर तीनों कंपनी थी, इन तीनों को जो है कैटेगरी 1 स्टेटस दिया गया है. नाउ लेट्स कम टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन हियर. That's on the classification of your CPSs. So Miniratna category 1 company, first of all, it should have a pre-tax profit of 30 crore or even more in the previous 3 years. ठीक है जी. Now they can make a decision up to 500 crore rupees. Miniratna 500 crore तक है, जो नवरत्न है वो 1000 crore rupees तक है. ठीक है जी. They can have an independent investment decision up to 500 crore rupees, not 300 crore rupees. ठीक है जी. And then it enables them to enter joint ventures and forge the technology partnership independently. Then we have a category 2. Category 2 पहले आता है जिसके अंदर आपके पास 300 करोड़ रुपए तक का आप इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हो and they must have continuously earned a profit in the past 3 years. That is the thing here. Okay. So the point here, if I talk about here, is that it's for Mini Ratna category 2 300 crore rupees there, but category 1 it is 500 crore rupees here. ओके जी, अब यहां पे मैंने आपको क्लासिफिकेशन ABC सेंट्रल पब्लिक सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस जो हैं वो भी आगे 4 क्लासिफिकेशन में आते हैं, A कैटेगरी, CPSE, B, C, D. ओके, बट दैट आई विल नॉट गो टू दैट पार्ट, ये आप बस रीड कर लेना एक बार, यू विल गेट द PDF, आप एक बार पढ़ लेना. बट ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ नवरत्न, मिनी रत्न एंड महारत्न इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, चलो जी, लेट्स कम टू माय क्वेश्चन नंबर 20th फॉर द डे. फॉर द असेसमेंट ईयर विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द की चेंज इन द इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न? Form 1 and 4 has been taken here. So there is an inclusion of long-term capital gains of up to rupees 50,000 from the listed equities. Inclusion of long-term capital gains up to rupees 1 lakh has been done from listed equities. Inclusion of long-term capital gains up to rupees 1.25 lakh has been done from listed equities. Inclusion of short-term capital gains of up to rupees 1.25 lakh from the listed equities. और आता है inclusion of long-term capital gains up to rupees 2 lakh from the listed entities. Tell me guys, what will be the answer here? Here our answer is that is option number C, because now we have seen in the income जो हमारी ITRs आई हैं finally, जो revised ITRs आई हैं as per our union budget, ITR 1 and ITR 4, there is an updation here. So first of all, income tax return 1 is for individuals which an income up to rupees 50 lakh rupees. अब उनको ले सरकार ने क्या बोला था कि आपकी यहाँ पे प्रोविजन आया है, दैट इज अंडर द इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न्स, वेयर लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन जो है हमने वहां पे ऐड किए, वो कितने कर दिए, दैट इज अप टू रुपीज 1.25 lakh from the listed equities. Remember, ठीक है, that is up to rupees 1.25 lakh from the listed equities have been added here. ठीक है, तो यहां पे क्या था, 100% इनकम टैक्स रिडक्शन दे दिया 10 साल के लिए. उसके बाद सॉरी, यहां पे ना मैं दो चीजें बता देता हूं, यहां पे थोड़ा सा चेंज है. सबसे पहले उन्होंने क्या बोला कि ITR 1 और ITR 4 में चेंजेस आई हैं. ITR 1 में चेंज ये आया था कि ITR 1 जो है उसमें आपने क्या बोला है कि ITR 1 में आप 50 लाख तक की जिसकी इंडिविजुअल की इनकम है वो ITR 1 फाइल करता है. ठीक है, तो अब यहां पे गवर्नमेंट ने यही बोला था कि अगर लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन टैक्स है उस पर आपका टैक्स लगेगा, अदरवाइज टिल 12,50,000 रुपीज देयर इज नो टैक्सेशन दैट इज गोइंग टू बी चार्ज फ्रॉम द पर्सन हियर. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट इज ऑन जस्टिस सूर्यकांत, दैट्स ऑन नेशनल लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटी, एंड देन ऑब्वियसली वी विल हैव अ फाइनल क्वेश्चन फॉर द डे फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ ESI. So, Justice Suryakant has been appointed as the executive chairman of the National Legal Service Authority. My first question is whom he has replaced? Whom he has replaced? That's my first question. And then my question is in context of this statement, tell me which of the given statements are correct. The appointment of the executive chairman of NALSA is made by the president in consultation with the Chief Justice of India under the Legal Service Authority Act 1987. Then it says Justice Suryakant will hold the position of executive chairman until November 25 and is expected to become the 53rd Chief Justice of India. Is it right or wrong? As per the convention, the executive chairman of NALSA is appointed from among the newly appointed judges of Supreme Court. क्या newly appointed से होता है? ठीक है जी, ये गलत है. Which of the given statements are correct? 3 I know is wrong. 3 is wrong. ठीक है जी. Now, what will be the answer here? Answer is actually option number A, 1 and 2 is right answer, because the second most senior judge of Supreme Court is generally by convention is appointed as the chairperson of National Legal Service Authority. So Justice B.R. Gavai जो कि first दलित चीफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया बने हैं, ठीक है जी, that is actually, और उनके बाद सेकंड हाईएस्ट में सेकंड नंबर पे कौन थे, वो थे आपके जस्टिस सूर्यकांत सर. ठीक है, तो ये है जी नलसा, दैट इज नेशनल लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटी विच इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड अंडर द लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटीज एक्ट ऑफ 1987. ऑब्जेक्टिव इज सिंपल, हाउ वी कैन प्रोवाइड अ फ्री लीगल एड सर्विसेज टू द वीकर सेक्शन, दैट इज ऑब्जेक्टिव हियर, जहां पे आपको वुमेन हो गया, चिल्ड्रन हो गया, देन वी हैव मेंबर ऑफ शेड्यूल कास्ट, इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर्स, डिसेबल्ड पर्सन, जिन लोगों के पास बेसिकली दे डू नॉट हैव द ऑप्शन एक्चुअली टू गेट द लीगल सर्विसेज, उन सबको फ्री लीगल सर्विसेज यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड की जाती है। जनरल कंटेक्स्ट में दोस्तों क्या होता है, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के पास जो भी सेकंड मोस्ट सीनियर जज होता है ना, जनरली उनको ही बनाया जाता है, बट इट इज दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट एंड they are being consulted by the Chief Justice of India. Okay, so that is an important thing you need to remember here. Now let me come to my final question for the day, that is as per the revised section 80 of the income tax framework. ठीक है जी, union budget startups are incorporated up to which date are actually eligible to apply for income tax exemption. तो दोस्तों थोड़ा सा confusion है 22nd और I think 20th क्वेश्चन के बीच में. I think the explanations are a little bit interchanged that we will correct on. Do not worry, that we will rectify. ठीक है, बट यहाँ पे आपको मुझे बताना है कि सही आंसर क्या है. यहाँ पे सही आंसर है दोस्तों 1st of April 2030, because that was the major announcement that was discussed or that was announced during the union budget, that for the startups we are actually basically providing them income tax exemption so that 100% profit deduction can be done. उसके लिए सरकार ने बोला था if the startup is incorporated till 1st of April 2030, we are actually going to basically provide benefit to those specific startups here. Okay, so this is all about your ESA section. Now Kritika ma'am will be coming here and she will be now proceeding with your finance section here. ठीक है जी. Now if you have any doubt with regards to ESA section, you can ask me a doubt here till the time she is coming here. मुझे पता है आप में से काफी बच्चे मैम को मिस कर रहे होंगे, तो चलो मैम आपके सामने आ ही चुकी हैं फाइनली. शी इज हियर. ओके जी, चलो इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट गाइस यू कैन आस्क मी अ डाउट हियर. अदरवाइज डू वन थिंग, अगर मन में फिर भी इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट विद रिगार्ड्स टू दिस टॉपिक्स और योर प्रिपरेशन, जस्ट डू वन थिंग, just drop us an email that is at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can also have post us a query आपकी डिस्कशन फोरम पे. अगर कोर्स में तो डिस्कशन फोरम में डाल देना, मुझे मेल कर देना, ठीक है, या फिर कॉल भी कर सकते हो. ठीक है, चलो गाइस, so this is about ESI. Now over to ma'am with regards to finance current affairs.
Okay. Thank you, Gurkriya sir. Now, thank you everyone for joining the session first of all. Now, we are going to start with the finance current affairs, okay? So, let's start with the discussion on the finance current affairs, and we are going to discuss multiple MCQs here. Starting with the first MCQ, that is in regards to the first mortgage-backed pass-through certificates listed on the NSC, that is on May 5th, 2025. Were structured by which of the following entities? This is the basic direct question that can come in your phase 1 of the examination. So try to answer this question, okay? And good evening everyone. Thank you for joining the session. Now try to answer this question. So India's first mortgage-backed pass-through certificates that is listed on NSC were structured by RMBS Development Company, that is under the NHB, National Housing Bank, okay? So here the answer is B. Very good, Guru Raja, correct. The answer is B. Yes, correct, Mayank, Harshal, very good. So here you can see that on May 5th, 2025, India's first mortgage-backed pass-through certificates were listed on the National Stock Exchange. These pass-through certificates, so basically try to understand that there are the securitized debt instruments, okay? So basically there are the debt or there are the loans that are bundled together and the loans are converted into the financial instruments that are sold to the investors. These are the securitized debt instruments. So here you can see that the originator, that is the bank or NBFC, has given multiple loans, home loans, car loans and such and such. So originator, that is the bank or the NBFC, has given multiple loans. Now these loans are bundled up and they are sold to the special purpose vehicle, or the pool of the loans are sold to the special purpose vehicle. Now the special purpose vehicle bundle up these loans and convert these loans into the financial instruments and sell these financial instruments in the form of securities to the investors, okay? So this is the idea of the securitized debt instrument. So pass-through certificates are a form of securitized debt instrument where the debt or the loans generated by the banks or NBFCs, they are pooled together, they are converted into the securities and they are sold to the investors. They represent a share in a pool of loans where the investor receives a portion of the cash flows generated by the underlying loans. So this is the basic idea. Now it is for the first time that the mortgage means the home loans backed pass-through certificates have been created in the NSC, or they have been listed in the NSC. These PTCs are structured by National Housing Bank promoted RMBS Development Company and are backed by a pool of housing loans originated by LIC Housing Finance Limited, okay? So these pass-through loans, they are backed by the mortgages, they are backed by the home loans, okay? So basically home loans, they are getting bundled together Okay, so let's say a bank has given multiple home loans. These multiple home loans are being bundled together. They are being converted by the special purpose vehicle in the securities, and these securities are sold to the people. These securities are sold to the investors. So investors are getting a portion in the home loans. They are getting a part of the right in the home loans. This is the idea. Now coming to the second news article or the second question. Which of the following institutions recently collaborated with SEBI to launch the Niveshak Shivir? So we have heard a lot about the Niveshak Shivir. That is an initiative aimed at simplifying the process for reclaiming the unclaimed dividends and shares for investors. So investors, they might have unclaimed dividends that they have not claimed for previous 7 years. They might have unclaimed shares that they have not claimed for previous 7 years. So which entity with SEBI has launched this Niveshak Shivir? So it is very good. It is Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority that has collaborated with SEBI to launch this Niveshak Shivir. And basically the idea of Niveshak Shivir is that it is a nationwide investor assistance initiative aimed at enhancing the investors' knowledge to reclaim the unclaimed dividends and shares with greater ease, improving the financial literacy and reducing the reliance on intermediaries to reclaim the unclaimed dividends and shares. Now coming to the third question, that is, I have taken a session on this also in the Finance 360. We have discussed this, that which department has launched the fraud risk intelligence tool to curb financial cyber fraud by classifying mobile numbers into risk category. So which department has launched the fraud risk intelligence where the mobile numbers are being categorized in the high risk, medium risk and low risk category? So which department has done so? So it is related to mobile number. So it is related to the Department of Telecommunications. Okay. Yes. So it is the Department of Telecommunications. So I have taken a complete session on this where we have discussed the SEBI mandates e-book mechanism, and the DOT introduces the FRI, that is the Department of Telecommunications has introduced the fraud risk indicator with for the stakeholders, for the banks and such, for the banks, NBFCs and the other stakeholders in the digital transactions domain. So basically the financial fraud risk indicator is a risk-based metric that classifies a mobile number into the medium risk, high risk and very high risk. Sorry, it is not low risk, it is medium risk, high risk and very high risk. In these categories the mobile numbers are divided so that the banks and they are able to know that okay, which mobile number is risky and on which mobile number there is a case that is going on, or there is some risk that is in this mobile number. Okay, so this is the basic idea. So if there is investigation that is going on a mobile number, so that mobile number is categorized in the medium risk, high risk or very high risk category. If the investigation is in process right now, maybe this mobile number is involved in some fraud, or through this mobile number some fraud has happened, so then this mobile number will be under the investigation. Until the mobile number is under the investigation, the suspected mobile number is flagged by the FRI into the medium risk, high risk and very high risk. This is the idea. Okay, now coming to the next question, that is, according to SEBI, a non-independent director that has been connected to a market infrastructure institution, that is a stock exchange. The market infrastructure institution is a stock exchange or depository or a clearing corporation. So they are the important entities under the under the SEBI, under the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The market infrastructure institutions in the financial market, they are very important. The stock exchanges, the depositories and clearing corporations. Okay, so now the SEBI has said that a non-independent director currently serving on the board of a recognized market infrastructure institution will now require a mandatory cooling off period before the entity or before the non-independent director can work in some other market infrastructure institution that is a competitor. Okay, now it has been said that the SEBI clarified that a public interest director, after completing their term at an market infrastructure institution, may be appointed for a further term of 3 years. Very good. Further term of 3 years in another stock exchange, clearing corporation or depository, subject to the prior approval from the SEBI and subject to the cooling off period that the entity or the director has completed. Okay, so basically it has been said that a non-independent director on the governing board of a recognized stock exchange or recognized clearing corporation or recognized depository may be appointed in another recognized market infrastructure institution once the cooling off period has been served, or once the cooling off period has ended and the non-independent director has also taken the permission from the SEBI to work on the board of some other market infrastructure institution. This is the basic idea. Okay. Now coming to the next question, that is markets regulator SEBI has made the electronic book mechanism mandatory for all the private placement debt of the debt issues. Okay. So basically there is private placement of debt issues. So debt instruments, they are also privately placed for a group of investors, for the group of high net worth individuals, or for the group of the big investors. For this big investors, there is the private placement of debt instruments that also happen, and this private placement of debt instrument should happen through the electronic book mechanism if the private placement is of how many crores or above how many crores. So it is 20 crores, correct. So basically there is the private placement of the debt instruments where the securities are sold to a pre-selected number of individuals and institutions. So a set of institutions and a set of individuals, high net worth individuals or the big institutions, they are selected, a group is selected to which there is private placement of debt instrument that happens. So a pre-selected number of individuals and institutions, they are selected, for to them the securities are sold, okay, rather than publicly on the open market. Now it has been said that if the private placement has to happen of the debt securities or the non-convertible redeemable preference shares, if the private placement has to happen of these instruments, municipal debt securities and such, they should happen through the electronic book provider platform. They should happen through the electronic platform. Basically, if the debt instrument or the debt security is a single issue of 20 crores or more than 20 crores, a self issue of 20 crores or more than 20 crores, or a subsequent issue of 20 crores or more than 20 crores. Basically, we have discussed the single issue, self issue and the subsequent issue in the video. So if you want to know more about it, you can see this video. Particularly, the idea is that if the private placement of debt securities, if the private placement of municipal debt securities, or if the private placement of the NCRPS has to happen, so it should happen through the electronic platform if the issue is of 20 crores or more. That is the idea. Now the next question is related to your e-book mechanism, where you have to tell that the grease shoe portion has been allowed till what limit? Till what limit? So basically the SEBI has notified that the green shoe portion shall not exceed dash times the base issue size. So it is how many times? Very good, it is 5 times. Everyone is giving the right answer, good to see that. So yes, it is 5 times, that is the answer, okay. So green shoe portion shall not exceed 5 times. That means, let's say 20 crores has to be raised through the private placement of debt instrument. So with the private placement of debt instrument, 20 crores have to be raised, but there is more demand for the debt instrument in the private domain. So now the entity can sell more of the debt instrument or can allow more of the debt instrument, but it should not be more than 5 times, okay. So green shoe option allows the issuer, that is issuing the debt instrument, to raise additional funds through the debt instrument, but it should not be exceeding 5 times, okay. So the green shoe portion shall not exceed 5 times the base issue size. That is the basic idea. The other things we have discussed, that the quantum of allocation to the anchor investors. So before the debt instrument is privately placed, there are the anchor investors, the big investors to which the debt instrument is provided. So the quantum of allocation to the anchor investor shall be at a discretion of the issuer, subject to the total allocation to the anchor not exceeding 30% in case of A plus, A or A minus investment rating of the debt instrument. If the debt instrument has the rating of A plus, A minus not exceeding 40%, should go to anchor investor. So anchor portion should not be exceeding 40%. If the debt instrument has others as the instrument rating, so the anchor portion should not exceed 50%. This is the idea, okay. Now coming to the next question, try to read the question and try to answer this question. This is regarding the securitized debt instrument. I have told you the basic idea of securitized debt instrument, where the loans are bundled up, they are pooled together and they are converted into the financial instrument to sell it to the investors, so that the investors have so that the investors can provide some money to cover up these loans, and the investors will get some returns in return, like the interest rate, a part of the interest rate and the principal payments the investor will get, okay. So the securitized debt instrument, in this regards the SEBI released the guidelines, and which of the following statement is incorrect, that you have to tell me, okay. So basically here you can see the minimum ticket size for issuing and subsequent transfer of securitized debt instrument is set at 1 crore for RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities. Absolutely correct. Okay, public offer of securitized debt instrument shall remain open for not less than 2 working days. So yes, if public offer is happening of the securitized debt instrument, that should remain open for 2 working days and not more than 10 working days. Okay, the companies that create these SDIs called originators need to have at least 3 years of experience. They need to have 3 years of their financial statements. Okay, these companies must keep some of the money in the product themselves, that is at least 10%, or in case if the money is paid back within 2 years, so in that case 5%. Okay, this is so they share the risk with the investors. There is an option for originators to buy back up to 10% of the original value of the assets to better manage the portfolio if the portfolio is below 10%. Now if the total value of the portfolio was 100 rupees, now let's say most of the money has been returned by the borrowers and now only 10% of the portfolio is left, that is only 10 rupees is left. So this can be bought back by the originators, this can be bought back by the banks, because now it is very difficult to manage this left out amount, that is very small amount. So sharing the benefits is difficult now, or sharing the benefits is more complicated and more time and cost consuming. Okay, so in this case where the originators, they have very less original value left in the portfolio, or where the originators are seeing that the original value has been returned, most of the original value has been returned and has been paid back by the borrowers, a very small amount is left. So in this case the originator can buy back the instrument. Okay, so this D was incorrect because 10%, it should not be 20%. So here you can see I have taken a complete session on this where we have discussed about the securitized debt instrument, and I have shown you that the originator shall be able to repurchase the transferred exposure. So if the bank has transferred its loans in a pool, the bank pooled up the loans and sold the loans to the investors, that means the originator shall be able to repurchase the transferred exposure only through invocation of a cleanup call option. Cleanup call option can only happen if the amount, or if the borrower has returned maximum of the amount and only 10% of the original issue is left in value. Okay, that means if 1000 rupees was the total value of the issue that was done to the investor, most of the money has been returned to the investor and only up to 10%, that was only 100 rupees is left, then there is the option for the originator, for the bank, to buy back the securities, now to buy back the loan. Okay, this is the idea. So an option called cleanup call option is the option in securitization transactions in which the issuer may reduce its own administrative expenses by buying back the remaining issue when the principal has been repaid, or when the principal has been mostly repaid, only the very less of the principal amount is left, that is only up to 10%, less than 10% of the principal value is left, or the original value is left. In this case the cleanup call option is provided. Okay, so this is the idea. We have discussed most of it, that the minimum ticket size is 1 crore for the initial issue or for the subsequent transfer. Okay, so this I have taken a session on. If you have any confusion you can see that, but basically I have told you the important idea. So originator shall retain a minimum of 10% of the book value of the debt or receivable being securitized in case where the payment or the money will be paid back within 24 months, within 2 years. So then originator shall retain a minimum of 5% of the book value. Okay, so this is the idea. Now coming to the next question, that is in regards to your SEBI has introduced a new delta-based open interest calculation method for your futures and options market, and this was a very complicated news article, and here I will be explaining you this news article as well as this question you have to answer. Okay, so if you know the answer of this question, very good, but first let's discuss about this news article. Okay, so first of all, what is the open interest? Open interest in the future or option is the total number of the outstanding derivative contracts, futures or options that are still active and not yet settled or closed. Okay, so open interest is the total number, it is the total number of the futures and options. Let's say 10 futures and options are open and they are still active and they are not settled or closed. Now what is the value of the open interest? Value of the open interest, value of these 10 futures and option is the 10 futures and options multiplied by the value, multiplied by the notional value. So this was how the value of the open interest was calculated. So till now the value of open interest was calculated by taking the notional value of all the futures and options, by taking the amount, by taking the notional value of all the futures and options, okay, by just multiplying the open futures and options, multiplying it with its value. So this was the value of open interest. Now it has been said that instead of taking the notional value, let's take the delta value, or let's take the delta case, okay. So here now what is going to happen, that the new method, that is the delta based method, will weigh the open interest by the price sensitivity. So in the case of open interest, now the price sensitivity will be seen, okay. So till now what was happening, that how we were able to see the value of open interest, that how many open interest are there, how many futures and options are present in the market, they are open in the market. So let's say 10 futures and options are present in the market and they have some notional value, they have some value, okay. So this was how the value of open interest was seen. But now it is said that instead of seeing the value of open interest through the notional value, now we will see it through the delta based method. In the delta based method, we actually want to see that how much fluctuation is coming in the price of the open interest. That means how volatile they are, okay. If they are more volatile, that means if the open interest, if let's say one particular open interest, if one particular future or option, it is more volatile, that means it will have more weight. If the rest are less volatile, they are less price sensitive, they will have less weight, because the more volatile the future or option is, the more sensitivity, the more fluctuations it will create in the market, the more problems it will create in the market. So rather than just having the notional value and multiplying it with the open interest and taking out the value of open interest in that form, now we are moving towards the delta based method, that is going to take the price sensitivity into account, that how much the future and option is price sensitive and how much volatility it is bringing in the market, okay. So SEBI will now weight each derivative, each future and option position by its delta, which measures how much the derivative price moves, how much the future and option price moves in response to the change in the underlying asset price. That means the delta based method will take into account the price sensitivity and will take into account the volatility that the future and option is having, and that is creating the fluctuation in the market, okay. So this is the idea, that the new method will weigh the open interest by the price sensitivity, making it impossible to manipulate the trades. First of all, delta based open interest shows the true economic exposure. In effect, positions are being assigned weight as per the delta, making the risk management framework stronger. So I hope this is first of all clear. Now coming to the data points, market wide position limit. So in a single stock, now we are talking about the equity, futures and options. So in a single stock across the market, there is the limit to how much the future and option can be open, okay. So it's a maximum market wide position limit. It's the maximum allowable open interest in future and option contracts on a single stock across the market. So market wide position limit for a stock will be lower of 15% of free float market cap. Let's say the Reliance Industries or the BSNL, or let's say the PNB, they have the free float market cap. So market capitalization means that the value of shares multiplied by the number of shares, so that is market capitalization. Free float means that it is able to float as per the current situations, okay, as per the market situation. So the market wide position limit in the futures and option of a particular stock will be the lower of 15% of free float market cap, or 65 times the average daily delivery value of the stock. Minimum floor, now this is the maximum. This is the maximum market wide position limit in a future and option in a particular stock. Now there is a minimum floor also, there is a minimum limit also, because if there are no futures and options, then it will be very the trading will not be possible. The markets will not be there in the future and options, right? So there is a minimum floor in the market wide position limit, so it cannot be less than 10%. It cannot be more than lower of 15% of free float market cap, or 65 times the average daily delivery value. Let's say the free float market cap is 1,000 crores. So 15% of that is 150 crores or something. So this much is the limit. Let's say this is the maximum limit. If 95% has been achieved of this limit, that means market wide position limit has reached 95% of this 150 crores, then no new position can be created. Only the current positions can be reduced. Okay, so basically the market wide position limit is the lower of the market wide position limit in a particular the market wide position limit for a stock in the future and option. It can be the lower of 15% of free float market cap of a stock or 65 times the average daily delivery value, and this is the maximum that can be possible, and the minimum is 10% of the free float that is allowed. When the market wide position limit in a stock exceeds 95% of the allowed limit, that means allowed limit has been completed till 95%, only 5% is left. So the regulator will realize that okay, the liquidity is most of the liquidity has been captured, or 95% of the allowed limit has been covered. So when the market wide position limit in a stock exceeds 95% of the allowed limit, no new positions can be created now, because you are very near to the end number. So only the positions can be reduced now, no new positions can be created. Okay, so this is the basic idea, that market wide position limit, it can be lower of 15% of free float market capitalization value of a particular stock, or it can be 65-day average daily delivery value. Okay, so whatever is the minimum value, let's say the free float market value is 100 crores, so 15% is 15 crores. So if 95% of this 15 crores, that is the market wide position limit is 15 crores, 95% has been done, 95% of this 15 crores of futures and options have been created. So 95% of futures and options have been created of this 15 crores. Then now you can only reduce your position, you cannot increase the position. Okay, so when 95% of the allowed limit is captured, no new position can be created. Intraday monitoring of market wide position limit. So how this will be seen, that the positions are like the data is being followed. So clearing corporations will perform at least 4 random intraday checks daily to see if the limits are breached. Report breaches to SEBI immediately. Exchanges will show real-time market-wide position limit usage on their website, and if the breach is actually happening, so additional surveillance will be done. Okay, penalties can happen. Now index option limit. Index option limits means that in an index, like you have a Nifty index and such, so in an index there is the option limit. In the index option limit, net end of day future equivalent option limit is, or open interest limit. So future equivalent. So instead of taking the options limit, we are taking the future equivalent. So let's say the options are worth 5,000 crore. So instead of taking the options value, we are taking the future equivalent limit. Okay, that is the future equivalent of the options. So basically the index option limit, it is 1,500 crores for net future equivalent open interest limit, and for the gross 10,000 crores is the limit. Index future limits, category 1 FPIs, mutual funds, trading members, that is proprietary, that is trading in their own accounts. So brokers that are trading in their own accounts, they have the limit of 15% in the futures of the open interest, or 500 crores. FPI category 2 non-individuals, 10% of the open interest, or 500 crores. This is per PAN level, that is, this is individual level, how much can invest in the future index. Okay, so these are such limits. So index option limit, per individual basis, per PAN basis, there are the limits. In the options, in the open interest, in the futures, in the open interest, there is the limit of how much options, of how much like futures you can buy. Okay, so basically how much futures you can buy in the open interest, how much futures can you buy. So there is a limit on the PAN level, on the individual level, on the entity level, or on the individual level, there is the limit. Now eligibility for non-benchmark indices. So now there are the index that are not benchmark indexes, okay, that are just the regular indexes. So non-benchmark indices must be broad-based. That means the index must have minimum 14 constituents. Top constituent cannot exceed 20% of weight, and top 3 constituents cannot increase like 45% of the combined weight. Why is it so? To avoid the concentration in a single stock. Position limit for single stocks. These are limits on how big a position any market participant can hold in the future and option. So any market participant, individual clients or NRIs, they can hold up to 10% of the market wide position limit. Trading member on the self account, that is the broker, on its own account can have 20% of the market wide position limit. Trading member on the self account plus the client account, that means the broker. The FPI category 1 and mutual fund can have 30% of the market wide position limit. So this is the idea. Any confusion here? Anyone? So this was a very complicated news article. You do not have to go too much in depth. I have just marked the data point. Market wide position limit is the lower of 15% of free float market cap or 65 times the average daily delivery value. Minimum floor is 10%. If a market wide position limit in a stock exceed 90% of the allowed limit, then no new position can be created. The positions can be reduced only. Okay. 4 times the random check will be done by the clearing corporation in regards to the market wide position limit. Index option limit. Okay. For the options, there is the index option limit at the PAN level, at the entity level, or at the individual level, that is 1500 crores in the net value and 10,000 crores in the gross value. This is at PAN level. Okay. So and the options, they are seen as future equivalent. Okay. So the options they are seen as futures equivalent. Okay. Index future limits. So for index future limit, there is the PAN level limits. So these are the PAN level limit. That is a single entity, that is the FPI category, can have 15% of open interest in the futures or up to 500 crores in the futures. Okay. The FPI category 2 non-individuals, they can have 10% of open interest in futures in the future index or 500 crores. So whichever is higher of. Okay. This is the idea. Now next is that non-benchmark indexes have some limitations. That means they must have minimum of 14 constituents and the top constituent cannot exceed 20% in the weight, and top 3 constituents should be less than 45% of combined weight. Position limit. So there are positions limit in the market wide position. In the market wide position, there is the limit for individual clients or NRIs, that is 10%. For the trading member, that is trading in the self account, that is the brokers that are trading in their self account, 20%. Trading member that are trading in their self account plus the client's account or the FPI category 1 and mutual funds, they have the limit of 30% in the market value position. Any confusion? Pre-open session for FNO. So a short trading window before normal market hours. This happens in the cash market, like in the normal stock market, there is the short trading window just before the market hours. Similarly will happen for futures and options also. Mutual funds and AIFs exposure. So options exposure to be calculated on a, as I have told you that options, the exposure that you have in the options, it is calculated on the basis of future equivalent exposure basis. So rather than saying it is an option exposure, you say it is future equivalent exposure basis. Okay. So that was what we were saying here, that options limit, index option limit means that future equivalent exposure open interest limit, that was 1500 crores in the net level and 10,000 crores in the gross level. So instead of option exposure, you can say future equivalent exposure. This is the idea. Market wide position limit. At the market level, there is the limit on the futures and options on a particular stock. Okay. So it is not a term, it is market wide position limit. That is, at the market level, there is the limit on the position of the future and option at the stock level, Okay. It is not a single word, it is a statement in itself. Okay. So this was the topic that we have not covered in a separate session. So I have explained it to you here. Just focus on the data points. Any confusion now? So market wide position limit, that is the limit on the futures and options at the market level on a single stock, that is lower of 15% of free float or 65 times the average daily delivery value and such. Index option limit. So this also we have discussed. So index option limit we have discussed at the PAN level, that means at the individual or the entity level, and the futures like the options, they are seen as the future equivalent index. Open interest limit is 1500 crores. Okay. This is the idea. Any other confusion, anyone? So now try to read the question and try to answer this. So basically, Securities and Exchange Board of India has introduced a new delta-based open interest calculation. So open interest calculation has been changed from the notional value to delta-based system. Okay. Now, implementation will be from July to December. So from July to December, the implementation will take place. So position limits for index future, position limits for index options. So they have different deadlines, I can say. So from July to December, there are the deadlines. Now open interest will now be measured as future equivalent open interest. So even for options, you will have future equivalent open interest. Okay. For the futures, it is direct futures open interest. Now, which of the following statement is or are correct in this regards? Market-wide position limit will be set as the lower of 15% of the free float or 65 times the average daily delivery value across clearing corporation with a minimum floor of 10%. This other data point is correct, but this is not 25%, it is 15%. Okay. At least 4 random intraday checks will be done by clearing corporation, correct. Position limit for single stocks will be position limit. There is position limit in the market-wide position limit for a individual client or NRI is 10%. Okay, for proprietary brokers, that is the trading members that are trading in their own account. So that is proprietary broker or trading member proprietary. That is 20% is the limit for them, and 30% for the FPI category 1. For FPI category 1, trading member, that is trading in its own account and the client's account, that means brokers, we can directly say the trading member or the broker combined. So this is correct. Second and third are correct, and that's why B is the right answer. Any confusion in this news article? Remember these limits also. Okay, the PAN level, that means the individual level or the entity level, index option limit, or the open interest limit. Open interest limit in the options in the future equivalent is 1500 crore net basis, and gross basis is 10,000 crores. Okay, and for the future index future limit, for the index future, the limit is the higher of 15% of the open interest in the futures, or 500 crores for the FPI category 1 mutual fund and trading and such. Okay, now coming to the next question. Now the easier questions will be there, only 3-4 questions are left. This is the first question, this is the 9th question now. Which organization has urged all legacy venture capital funds to migrate to the alternative investment fund regime before the deadline of June 19, 2025? So which of these entities has urged all the legacy venture capital funds? It is the Indian Venture and Alternate Capital Association. Okay, so I hope this is clear, that here the answer is 4th. See what happened, that the legacy venture capital funds, they are investment instruments through which individuals can invest their money in the newly formed startups as well as small and medium sized companies. And for the venture capital funds, there was the regulations that were provided in 1996. Now they are the old regulations as per which many of the venture capital funds were established. Now the alternative investment fund, for these alternative investment fund, the guidelines were released in 2012, that is nearly 16 years later. Yes, nearly 16 years later. Now in the alternative investment fund, there was the directions that was released for the venture capital funds also. But the old venture capital funds that were established under these guidelines of 1996, they continued to follow the 1996 guidelines. Now the SEBI is saying that they are the older guidelines, they are of no value now, they are very they are the guidelines that were released very early, so they do not have much relevance now. So now it is said that follow the alternative investment fund regime. So now these legacy venture capital funds that established in the older regime, they have to convert to the AIF regime. And the Indian Venture and Alternate Capital Association has urged all the legacy venture capital funds that were established in the older regime to convert themselves into the alternative investment fund regime. This is the basic idea. Now once the virtual capital funds from the legacy regime, they transition into the alternative investment fund regime under this regulations that have been recently updated also. So there will be a new subcategory called migrated venture capital funds that have migrated from the older norms to the new norms. I hope this is clear. So eligibility for migration is VCFs with schemes whose liquidation period has not expired. That means they are running some scheme that is currently available or applicable. VCFs with at least one scheme whose liquidation period has expired but holds unliquidated investment. That means if the VCF do not have any current scheme but has an older scheme that has liquidated, that has finished, but its investments are unliquidated, that means the investment has not finished currently. So this is the basic idea that you need to keep in mind. Okay, now coming to the next question, the public sector bank cumulative profit has increased to a record level of rupees 1.78 lakh crore in the fiscal year ended March 2025, registering a growth of 26% over the previous year. Okay, in percentage terms, which of the following bank has reported the highest growth in the net profit? We are not talking, see, in the total profit, the State Bank of India is the one that has got the highest chunk in the profit. But which bank has seen the highest growth in the profit? We are talking about that bank. So it is very good. It is Punjab National Bank. Okay. So the State Bank of India is the one, the State Bank of India is the one that has alone contributed over 40% of the total earnings. Okay. So State Bank of India is the one that has alone contributed a huge chunk of profits, and the highest chunk of the profits have been contributed by the State Bank of India. But Punjab National Bank has reported the highest net profit growth of 102%. This is the idea. Now there are other guidelines that were given in your EduTap magazine. In the EduTap magazine of your May month, there were these news articles that were also mentioned, but this we will cover in the RBI notifications and press releases because they are under the RBI notifications and press release. So FPI investment in corporate bonds, RBI recognized FIMDA as the first SRO for the financial market under the RBI, and the RBI has approved the highest ever surplus transfer. So all of these news we will discuss in the notification session that will be conducted on next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now coming to the next question, the 11th question, try to answer this question. This is in regards to your Payments Regulatory Board Regulation 2025. So basically the board of regulation, the board for regulation and supervision of payment and settlement system, this has been replaced by the Payments Regulatory Board. Now the Payment Regulatory Board, like the Monetary Policy Committee, is a very important board. Okay, so first of all, the BPSS, that is the board for regulation and supervision of the payment and settlement system. So this board has been replaced by the Payments Regulatory Board Regulations 2025. Now, which of the following statement is incorrect in regards to the board that you have to tell? So the members of the board nominated by the central government should not have completed the age of 70 years, correct. The board shall consist of 6 members, the 3 members nominated by the Government of India and the 3 members from the Reserve Bank of India. One is the chairperson of the board, that is going to be the governor of the RBI, then the deputy governor. So 3 members from the RBI will be the governor of the RBI, the deputy governor of the RBI, that is in charge of the payment and settlement system, and 1 officer of the RBI to be nominated by the central board. So this is also correct. The board shall ordinarily meet at least twice, not thrice, it is twice in a year at such place or through such mode as may be decided. All matters for approval. So when the meeting is happening of the Payments Regulatory Board, so all the matters should be through the majority vote. Okay, but in case there is equality of vote, 3 yes, 3 no, in this case, in the equality of vote case, the chairperson of the board, that is the governor of RBI, will have a casting vote or will have a second vote, additional vote we can say. In case the chairperson of the board, that is the governor of RBI, is not present in the meeting, in this case the deputy governor of the RBI, who is the member of the board, shall have the second or casting vote. This is the idea, correct. Quorum for holding a meeting for the board shall be 3 members and shall include the chairperson. If chairperson is not present, at least the deputy governor should be present. Okay, so this is also correct. So only the third statement was incorrect. So here we have discussed, I have taken a complete session on the Payments Regulatory Board. So we have already discussed all the details that the no person. So the members of the board, 3 members of the board shall be nominated by the central government. Now no person shall be nominated as a member of the Payments Regulatory Board if the person has completed the age of 70 years on the date of appointment as a member. Okay, so this is the idea. Now we have discussed about the members of Payments Regulatory Board also, as well as the board shall ordinarily meet at least twice in a year, not thrice. Now coming to the last part or the last question, which global sovereign credit rating agency has recently upgraded India's long-term and short-term foreign and local currency issuer ratings, raising the long-term rating to BBB with a stable trend? So which of the following entities? So which of the following entities? So it is which ratings emerging market division, Moody's or S&P or CareEdge and Morningstar. So it is the answer Morningstar DBRS. Okay. So yes, the right answer here is Morningstar DBRS. So basically the rating scale for Morningstar DBRS is in the terms of high, low and such. So foreign currency issuer rating, this shows the credit worthiness for dollar or euro denominated loans. Okay. Local currency issuer rating, this shows that how much credit worthy the country is or the government is in terms of the loan that is given in the local currency. Okay. So foreign currency issuer rating has improved and the local currency issuer rating has improved from the BBB low to BBB with a stable trend. This is for the long term. For the short term also the rating has improved from the R2 high, the rating has improved from R2 middle to R2 high with a stable trend. This is the idea. Okay. Any confusion here, anyone? So basically you can see other data also. The average GDP growth in India during financial year 2022 to 2025 was 8.2%. 13-year low non-performing loans. So non-performing loans, the gross non-performing loans have gone to a 13-year low. So that is a good news. And that's why seeing all the fundamentals of the country, seeing the macroeconomic data points, it has been decided by the Morningstar DBRS to upgrade our long-term foreign and currency, local currency issuer rating from BBB low to BBB stable trend and from R2 middle to the R2 high. Okay. So this is the idea. Any confusion, anyone? Now we are going to move forward with the general awareness and Devanshu sir is going to take you forward with this component. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. If there is any confusion, you can ask. Any confusion, anyone?
So hello everyone. Again, I really believe that you are enjoying your current affairs session, right? So till now we have covered the ESI current affairs and your finance current affairs. And now let me tell you here that it is very important to also prepare the general awareness part because it plays a very important role in your examination point of view. And now we will be going ahead with your important general awareness part. And now in the very quick fire manner, we will be covering the important general awareness sessions, right? So I hope that all of you are really excited for the general awareness part. So good evening, Mayank, Fruity, Gururaj, Harshal and all the people. So guys, it's really great that till now you have made up for this particular session and now we will be moving ahead with the general awareness part, right? So I now want all of you to answer the questions in the comment section in the same manner that you were doing till now. And here is the very first question for all of you. So the first question, we are covering the first such kind of summit which has been organized by India, and that is the WAVES Summit. So WAVES Summit was held in May 2025. You need to identify here the statements which are correct with respect to the WAVES Summit which took place in 2025. So for the very first time we have seen that the WAVES Summit was being organized in our country, right? So here are the three statements. So you need to identify the correct statement just going by the keywords here. So WAVES 2025, it is India's first World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit. कहाँ ऑर्गेनाइज हुई थी? इन मुंबई बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ब्रॉडकास्टिंग. Second statement, IICT launched under WAVES 2025. It is basically located in Delhi. So guys, if I talk about this particular part, this IICT, which is India's first dedicated institute for animation, visual effects, gaming, comics and extended reality, it is located in Delhi. And you have to identify here that which of the following part is incorrectly mentioned here in the statement. Now the third statement is Bharat Pavilion under the theme Kala to Code showcase the technological advancements in sectors like media, entertainment and digital innovation. So these are the three statements. We have to see which of the following statements are correct and then we need to identify the right answer. And in the chat box I am seeing Harshal, Gururaj, Fruity, everybody is saying option B is the right answer. So basically option B says only 1 and 3. So are you guys still final with this particular option? So yes, the right answer is option B, that is only 1 and 3, because the statement 2 is incorrect, because when it comes to this particular IICT, it is located in Mumbai and not the Delhi. सो ये मुंबई के अंदर है, दिल्ली के अंदर नहीं है, दैट्स व्हाई दिस स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट हियर. ओके, सो दैट इज द राइट आंसर. So moving ahead to the next question. Next question is about the Operation Sindoor. So guys, we all know that as a retaliatory action against the terror attack that we have seen in the Pahalgam, right? So India executed Operation Sindoor. So you have to identify here what of the following are the correct combination of statements with respect to ऑपरेशन सिंदूर. सो जब भी हम क्वेश्चन का आंसर कर रहे हैं, आज पूरे सेशन में आपने काफी ऐसे स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस को देखा है, राइट? तो इवन इन द जीए यू कैन सी सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, ऑल्दो जो प्रोबेबिलिटी है इससे थोड़ी कम होगी, बट स्टिल वी कैन सी सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस बीइंग आस्क्ड. सो वी हैव टू एंश्योर दैट वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द इवन द वर्स्ट सिचुएशन, so that we are able to cover the important part, we are able to fetch those additional marks in the examination, right? So here you can see the first statement, Operation Sindoor किसने लॉन्च किया? इंडिया ने, as a response to the Pahalgam terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir. So we targeted 21 terror camps in Pakistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir, absolutely right. Second statement, let me tell you guys here the name of the colonel Sophia Qureshi and wing commander Vyomika Singh is being given, who have briefed the media about this particular operation. Third statement is the hammer missile used in Operation Sindoor is a long-range cruise missile which has been manufactured by Indian Defence Corporation BrahMos Aerospace. So you need to identify here which of the following statements are correct. So people are saying option A. So option A को lock करते हैं. Option A is absolutely the right answer. Now what exactly is the important part here? See, so many students will be thinking that why exactly we are covering the people name, that is Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh. क्यों आखिर हम cover कर रहे हैं इस part को? Guys, the reason is that for the very first time when such kind of operation is being executed by the Indian Defence, so basically always we see that there are male officers who are briefing the media, but for the very first time we have seen that female officers have led this particular media briefing which is being conducted, right? So that's why their names are really very important to be remembered from examination point of view. अगर हम बात करते हैं हैमर मिसाइल की, so basically एक long range cruise missile है. So basically it is basically a air to ground precision guided weapon. So that's why this statement is incorrect. Right answer is option A, that is only 1 and 2 is correct here. Absolutely right. काफी स्टूडेंट्स ने इस क्वेश्चन के सही आंसर दिया. और यहाँ पर एक और चीज मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं दोस्तों, अगर हम बात करें ब्रह्मोस की, so can anybody tell me that with which country India produces the BrahMos missile? किस कंट्री के साथ इंडिया ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल को प्रोड्यूस करता है? What is the name of that country? So anybody in the chat box who want to give me the right answer to this question? So what is the name of that particular part here? Please tell me here. What is the name of this country with which we come up with this particular thing? That is Russia. So Russia के साथ हम बनाते हैं ब्रह्मोस. Okay? I hope this is clear. Moving to the next question. So a model temple for turtle conservation was recently inaugurated. The name is नाग शंकर टेम्पल. आपको बताना है कौन सी स्टेट के अंदर है. It is in West Bengal, Odisha, Assam, Jharkhand और Tripura. So guys, in these kind of questions, these are very easy in the nature. Just we need to identify the central topic. We need to see what is the option and we need to answer the right answer. Okay. So यहाँ पर the Indian state where the model temple for turtle conservation has been inaugurated. What is the name of that particular state? The name of the state is Assam. Assam is the right answer. Let me tell you here guys that Assam has also launched its first ever artificial intelligence based virtual news anchor. Can anybody tell me what is the name of that particular anchor? Artificial intelligence based virtual news anchor has been launched by Assam state. What is the name of that particular anchor? The name of the anchor is Ankita. Ankita is the right answer. Okay, so these are the important things that we need to cover. और यहाँ पर एक न्यूज आर्टिकल से हम दो न्यूज आर्टिकल्स को कवर कर रहे हैं एंड दैट बेसिकली शोज कि अगर अब आपसे असम के बारे में पूछा जाएगा आप दोनों ही चीजों को बता पाएंगे. ठीक है, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. मयंक, गुरुराज, फ्रूटी, हर्षल, आप सभी ने इस क्वेश्चन का सही आंसर दिया है. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो इंडियन पैरा एथलीट महेंद्र गुर्जर ने एक वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाया इन द मेंस जेवलिन कैटेगरी एट द वर्ल्ड पैरा एथलेटिक ग्रैंड प्रिक्स. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि इवेंट कहां हुआ था. So whenever we see such kind of world records are been broken, guys, let me tell you here that we need to understand that in which event it took place, where exactly that event took place, what is the name of the person. Like here, Mahendra Gurjar is also very important part. The name of the event is important and where it held is also very important. So this event took place in Northville, Switzerland. Northville, Switzerland is the place where this event took place. So that's why it is the right answer. Moving to the next question, the state became the first to launch an AI-based real-time forest alert system. तो एक रियल टाइम बेस्ड अलर्ट फॉरेस्ट सिस्टम बनाया है दोस्तों. आपको बताना है क्या है स्टेट का राइट आंसर. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दिस स्टेट? महाराष्ट्र, मध्य प्रदेश, गुजरात, तमिलनाडु और आंध्र प्रदेश. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट स्टेट? द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट इज ऑप्शन बी, दैट इज मध्य प्रदेश. सो मध्य प्रदेश इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. ठीक है जी. इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें तो इंडिया का फर्स्ट बेगर फ्री सिटी, beggar free city, what is the name of that city? India's first beggar free city is Indore. And again, where is Indore? It is in Madhya Pradesh. ठीक है. इसके अलावा इंडिया का फर्स्ट चीता कंजर्वेशन कॉरिडोर, India's first cheetah conservation corridor has been made operational in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is set to join this particular part. एंड लेट मी टेल यू हियर कि ये जो कॉरिडोर है ये ऑलरेडी ऑपरेशनल है. कहां पर ऑपरेशनल है? अगेन इट इज इन द मध्य प्रदेश. सो मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर इट इज ऑलरेडी ऑपरेशनल देयर, राइट? सो अगेन वी हैव कवर्ड सम इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स एंड दिस बेसिकली आई कॉल्स अ माइंड मैपिंग टेक्निक. So basically we have covered one news article, one question on the Madhya Pradesh, and with the help of that we have covered two other important articles that we can remember from examination point of view. That's what I always want from you guys, that whenever you're reading anything, what you need to do, just pick up that one keyword and try to answer the question that okay, what else I remember about this particular part. So अगर आप इस तरीके से करेंगे दोस्तों, आपके लिए चीजें और आसान हो जाएंगी. ये जो करंट अफेयर है, जनरल अवेयरनेस है, ये आपके लिए एक छोटा सा गेम हो जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम महाराष्ट्र की बात करते हैं, सो इफ आई आस्क यू दैट विच इज द स्टेट विच हैज टॉप्ड द खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स दिस ईयर, तो खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स इस साल किसने टॉप किया? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट? सो द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट इज महाराष्ट्र, खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स. ठीक है, सो दैट इज बेसिकली द राइट पार्ट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट अगर हम बात करें आपसे एक और चीज की, that the first state to have come up with the shipbuilding policy, shipbuilding policy को लॉन्च करने वाली पहली स्टेट कौन सी है? That is also Maharashtra. Absolutely right. So Abhinay, Harshal, everybody has given the right answer. That is Maharashtra. इसके अलावा दोस्तों we have also seen that Adi Shakti Abhiyan was been launched, and that Abhiyan was also been launched by Maharashtra. So from Maharashtra we can see Khelo India Youth Games, we have seen shipbuilding policy, and we have also seen Adi Shakti Abhiyan. So all of them have been covered by Maharashtra. So that's how we can basically relate the important news articles with each other and we can remember them from examination point of view. क्योंकि एग्जाम में हम देखते हैं दोस्तों कि ESI करंट अफेयर्स, फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स, फाइनेंस में कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, ESI में कुछ और बेटर इंफॉर्मेशन है जो हमें याद करनी रहती है, एंड देयर आर ग्रुप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशंस. बट इन द GA आर्टिकल्स लाइक दीज, what else we are having just few chunk of words that we need to retain. For example, AI based real time forest alert system किसने लॉन्च किया? मध्य प्रदेश ने लॉन्च किया. बस इतना याद करना है. तो इतनी सी इंफॉर्मेशन याद करने में थोड़ा सा पेन होता है, बट अगर उस मध्य प्रदेश की सारे इंफॉर्मेशन को साथ में कर लिया जाए तो एग्जाम में हम बाइफरकेट अच्छे से कर पाएंगे कि कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन किससे रिलेट करती है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. इंडियन आर्मी ने नई सप्लाईज लिया ऑफ द इग्ला एस, द वेरी शॉर्ट रेंज एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम, एंड यू नीड टू टेल मी हियर कि ये कौन सी कंट्री से इंडिया ने रिसीव किए. इट इज द सेम कंट्री विच वाज इन्वॉल्व्ड विद इंडिया इन द ब्रह्मोस. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट कंट्री? दैट इज रशिया. Russia is the right answer. Option B, sorry. Next question. So Jared Isaacman is set to become the new head of NASA. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है जैक्रेड इसाकमैन किस चीज के लिए फेमस हैं. Is he famous for a former astronaut and a billionaire entrepreneur, or being the first women astronaut to walk in space, leading SpaceX Mars mission, serving as NASA's director of operations, or he is the first non-professional astronaut to walk in space during the Polaris Dawn mission? तो इनमें से किस चीज के लिए फेमस है? He is famous for basically option E. He is the first non-professional astronaut to walk in space during the Polaris Dawn mission. That is the right answer. Okay. Next question is on the World Press Freedom Day 2025. So दोस्तों World Press Freedom Day 2025. It is being celebrated every year on which date that you need to identify here. So basically here we have seen that it is being celebrated with the theme of reporting in the brave new world the impact of artificial intelligence. तो AI के ऊपर हमने काफी चीजें कवर की आज, राइट? सो यहाँ पर आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है that on which date we celebrate the day. We celebrate this day every year on 3rd of May. 3rd May is the right answer. And on this date only we also come up with the World Press Freedom Index, जिसके बारे में ऑलरेडी अपने लास्ट सेशंस के अंदर कवर कर चुके हैं. ओके, वर्ल्ड प्रेस फ्रीडम इंडेक्स हमने कवर किया था और वर्ल्ड प्रेस फ्रीडम डे 3rd मई को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है. इसके अलावा मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी डे हम कौन सी डेट को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं दोस्तों? आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी डे. इट इज बीन सेलिब्रेटेड एवरी ईयर ऑन 22nd May. बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी 22 मई, बाय बाय, राइट? सो इस तरीके से याद कर सकते हो. इसके बाद आता है आपका नेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी डे. तो नेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी डे गाइस कब हम मनाते हैं? एवरी ईयर ऑन 11th of May. It is a date on which we conducted the nuclear test successfully under the Operation Shakti. तो ऑपरेशन शक्ति कब हुआ? नेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी डे 11 मई, 11th of May. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. इसके बाद आता है दोस्तों 1st May. 1st May. It is being celebrated as International Labor Day. इंटरनेशनल लेबर डे हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं 1st May एवरी ईयर, राइट? अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल डे. सो लास्ट ईयर वी हैव सीन द वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल डे वाज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड. सो वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल डे इज बीन सेलिब्रेटेड एवरी ईयर ऑन 25th of May. 25th May को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल डे. लेट मी टेल यू हियर फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल वीक फ्रॉम 21 to 25 of May. तो 21 से 25 मई को हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल वीक, राइट? सो पहली बार हुआ ये और इस तरीके से हमने इन एक डे से गाइस काफी सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डेज को कवर कर लिया है. आई होप आप सभी याद कर पा रहे हैं इसको कि कैसे हमें चीजों को याद करना है, ठीक है? आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. सो जैसे वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल डे की बात की गई तो वैसे ही गवर्नमेंट ने अनाउंस किया इन द मंथ ऑफ मे दैट वी विल बी सेलिब्रेटिंग आयुर्वेद डे. सो आयुर्वेद डे हम कौन सी डेट को मनाएंगे ये आप मुझे बताएंगे कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. What is the date when we will be celebrating the Ayurveda day? That is 23rd September. 23rd September is the right answer. Okay. So we have covered one of the most important days that we are required to cover from examination point of view from the month of May 2025. Right? बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो टोटल लेंथ ऑफ इंडियाज कोस्ट लाइन वॉज रीअसेस्ड रिसेंटली. आपको बताना है कि नई रिपोर्टेड लेंथ क्या है इंडिया की कोस्ट लाइन की. सो पहले दोस्तों अगर हम बात करें तो पहले ये जो कोस्ट लाइन की लेंथ थी 7516 किलोमीटर थी और ये 1970s के अंदर इसे असेस किया गया था. बट उसके बाद ये रीअसेसमेंट किया गया अभी एंड वी हैव सीन दैट नाउ इट हैज बेसिकली इंप्रूव्ड टू 11,098.81 किलोमीटर्स. ऑप्शन सी. आप देख सकते हो टोटल लेंथ पे अब जाकर 11,098 किलोमीटर हो चुकी है फ्रॉम द प्रीवियसली रिपोर्टेड 7516 किलोमीटर्स. और अगर हम यहां पर बात करें नेशनल हाइड्रोग्राफिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इन कोलैबोरेशन विद द सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया conducted the last survey और इसके अंतर्गत we have identified that Gujarat is having the maximum such coastal line of 2340.62 kilometers. Right? So if the question will be asked to you that which state is having the maximum coastal line, so what is the right answer? The right answer is Gujarat. Moving to the next question. So the next question is the Neeraj Chopra achieved a new milestone in the Doha Diamond League. What is that particular milestone is all about? You need to identify the right statement, the correct statement which are being mentioned here about this new milestone of Neeraj Chopra. So the first statement, इन्होंने 90.23 मीटर का थ्रो किया, breaching the 90 meter mark for the first time. He won the event ahead of Julian Weber and Anderson Peters. इन दोनों को इन्होंने हराया. Third thing is ये 25th मैन बने हैं हिस्ट्री के अंदर टू क्रॉस द 90 मीटर बैरियर. लेट मी टेल यू गाइस, ये जो 90 मीटर का बैरियर है इसको पार करना बहुत ही मुश्किल है, राइट? एंड फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम ही हैज ब्रीच्ड दिस पर्टिकुलर रिकॉर्ड. एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द राइट आंसर हियर? So what is the right answer? Which of the following statements are correct here? The right answer to this question is option A, that is statement 1 and 3 are absolutely right. So he has basically mentioned that he won the event ahead of Julian Weber. So Julian Weber से पहले नहीं बल्कि ये second position पर थे. Julian Weber won the gold medal in this particular event and that is why this statement is incorrect. You can see that Julian Weber has a throw of 91.06 meters. That's the right answer. Absolutely right. Next question is about the World Food Prize. So World Food Prize was been awarded to microbiologist Mirangela Hungria, and now you need to identify here from which country she belongs to. So what is the name of that country from which she belongs to, and she has been awarded the World Food Prize 2025. So she has been awarded for her pioneering work in reducing fertilizer usage and promoting sustainable agriculture. What is the name of that country? It is the same country, guys, that we have seen recently, which was having the presidency of BRICS. So BRICS की presidency किसके पास है इस time पर? The country which has recently hosted the 17th summit of BRICS, that is Brazil. B for Brazil is the right answer. And next year India will be having the presidency of the BRICS. So the next summit will be taking place in India only next year, right? So guys, I hope this is clear. इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करते हैं आपके वर्ल्ड फूड डे की, तो अभी हमने बात की वर्ल्ड फूड प्राइज, तो वर्ल्ड फूड डे हम कौन सी डेट को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी इन द चैट बॉक्स on which date we celebrate World Food Day? So World Food Day has been celebrated every year on 16th October. तो 16th October को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है वर्ल्ड फूड डे. आई होप इस तरीके से आप रिलेट करके चलेंगे चीजों को, डेफिनेटली चीजें और आसान होंगी और एग्जाम के लिए आपको चीजें याद भी रहेंगी. ओके, बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द स्टेट सिक्योर्ड द फर्स्ट एवर पोडियम फिनिश इन अ खेलो इंडिया इवेंट ड्यूरिंग द खेलो इंडिया बीच गेम्स. तो खेलो इंडिया बीच गेम्स में पहली बार इस स्टेट ने पोडियम पोजीशन हासिल की. दैट मीन्स इस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट को यहां पर पोडियम पर आने का मौका मिला. दैट मीन्स इट वाज इन द टॉप 3. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट स्टेट? मणिपुर, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, नागालैंड, गोवा. सो बेसिकली द गेम्स की अगर हम बात करते हैं दोस्तों, दीज गेम्स वर बीन organized in the Daman and Diu and Dadar and Nagar Haveli, right? So what is the name of the state? The name of the state is Nagaland, which was there. So Nagaland state was there, which has basically got this particular, it has secured the first ever podium finish in this particular event. So that's what is the right answer. You can see that it has been held in Diu, UT of Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. And according to the medals tally, first place was secured by Manipur, second place Maharashtra, and the third place is by Nagaland. If I ask you what is the name of that state which has become the first state to come up with the port shipping policy, port shipping shipbuilder policy, what is the name of that state? We have already covered this part. It is the same state which has come up with the Adi Shakti Abhiyan. What is the name of that state? The name of the state is Maharashtra. Right? So इस तरीके से we have to ensure that yes, we are able to retain all these informations, जो कि मैं एक्स्ट्रा भी आपको बता रहा हूं, आपको चीजें याद हो रही हैं. ठीक है, बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो इंडिया established its first ever facility for integrated polar and ocean research. You have to tell me here what is the name of these bhavans which have been established here. इन भवन्स का क्या नाम है दोस्तों, ये आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है यहाँ पे. So what is the name of these bhavans? These bhavans are basically Polar Bhavan and Sagar Bhavan. This is the right answer. So Polar Bhavan and Sagar Bhavan is the right answer. Now we are having the next question on Bharat Forecast System. So India ने अपना भारत फोरकास्ट सिस्टम लॉन्च कर दिया है दोस्तों, और यहाँ पर आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि which of the following statements are correct with respect to the Bharat Forecast System. So काफी बार we see that due to the improper forecasting facilities available to us, there are many times that we are not able to mitigate the negative impacts of these नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कहीं पर बहुत ज्यादा बारिश आने वाली है जिससे लैंडस्लाइडिंग हो सकती है, एंड वी आर अनेबल टू आइडेंटिफाई एंड फोरकास्ट दैट यस हियर वी विल बी हैविंग अ huge amount of rainfall that is predicted in the next 2 to 3 days or in the hours, right? So basically we have to ensure that we are able to mitigate the negative impacts, and that's why we need to ensure a good forecasting system, and India came up with the Bharat Forecast System. So here the first statement is it is developed by IITM Pune. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट, फोरकास्ट रेजोल्यूशन इसका 12 किलोमीटर से 6 किलोमीटर बढ़ा दिया है. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट, powered by high performance computing system named Arka and Arunika. So which of the following statements are correct here? So right answer is option E, that is all of the above is the right answer. Again I can see, so Gururaj, Abhinaya, Harshal, everybody has given the right answer, option E, all of the above. So आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं दोस्तों, ये जो भारत फोरकास्ट सिस्टम है इसको ऑपरेशनलाइज कौन करता है? इंडिया मेट्रोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट. ठीक है, and India is now the only country operating a global forecast system. तो ग्लोबल फोरकास्ट सिस्टम ऑपरेट करने वाला इंडिया ऐसा पहला देश बन चुका है, and it surpasses the global peers like US, UK and European Union in this particular system. Having such kind of indigenous system that we are having, it is really a part of thing on which we can really feel proud of, right? So well done. I see in the chat box everybody has given the right answer here. बढ़ते हैं दोस्तों अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. So the Department of Space shared comprehensive updates regarding the progress and objectives of India's first human space mission. So guys, गगनयान मिशन we all know इंडिया का पहला क्रूड मिशन होगा. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कौन सी स्टेटमेंट यहां पर आपकी करेक्ट है. So गगनयान मिशन इज अ सेंट्रल टॉपिक. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, क्या एम है? एस्ट्रोनॉट्स को भेजेंगे कहां पर? लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट्स के अंदर एट एन ऑल्टीट्यूड ऑफ अप्रोक्सीमेटली 400 किलोमीटर्स. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट, व्योम मित्र एक ह्यूमनॉइड रोबोट है डेवलप्ड बाय इसरो, will be the part of first crewed mission to evaluate the life support systems in real time. So दोस्तों अगर हम पहले ही क्रूड मिशन को भेज देंगे तो हम क्या असेस करने वाले हैं लाइफ सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स का? दैट these will be there. So basically ये जो है ये तो पहले होना चाहिए, right? So that's why when it comes to Vyom Mitra is basically the part of uncrewed mission. That's why statement 2 is incorrect here. Third statement, officers from Indian Air Force who completed training in the Russia and are now undergoing mission specific training in India. So yes, this is right. So right answer is option B. That is only 1 and 3 are right part. Okay, that is the most important part that we need to understand from here. अब इसके अलावा I want to ask you a very important part. See guys, हम current affairs को cover कर रहे हैं, right? अब आपको identify करना है. You have to tell me here what is the name of that particular person which became the first such person to go to the International Space Station from India. तो वो पहले इंडियन जो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन गए और आफ्टर 40 years he became the first Indian to go into the space. What is the name of that person? Let me tell you that just recently we have seen that he came back from International Space Station. He was the part of Axiom 4 mission. What is the name of the person? The name of the person is Shubhanshu Shukla. Absolutely right, Shubhanshu Shukla is the right answer. So here we have covered all the important details. हमने करंट अफेयर को भी कवर कर लिया. बढ़ेंगे अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. So इंडियन नेवी ने रिव्यू किया है न्यूली बिल्ट वेसल कंस्ट्रक्टेड थ्रू इंडिजिनस कैपेबिलिटीज, और यहां पर बात हो रही है बेसिकली आपकी फर्स्ट एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर शैलो वाटरक्राफ्ट की. एंड यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई हियर कौन सी स्टेटमेंट एक्यूरेटली उस पर्टिकुलर वेसल को आपको आइडेंटिफाई करने में हेल्प करेगी. पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज, हेरिटेज, कैसे वो एसोसिएटेड हेरिटेज से. थर्ड थिंग, उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन ओरिजिन क्या है, कहां पर इसे कंस्ट्रक्ट किया गया था. सो दीज आर द थ्री थिंग्स दैट वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई. सो द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, इट इज नेम्ड INS सिंधु घोष. तो सबसे पहले हमें पता होना चाहिए इसका नाम क्या रखा गया. लेट मी टेल यू हियर दैट कुछ फोर्ट्स के ऊपर इसका नाम रखा गया एंड द नेम इज अर्नाला. सो आपका पहला स्टेटमेंट गलत हो जाता है यहां पर. अब आपके पास बचते हैं ऑप्शन बी और ऑप्शन सी. सो बेसिकली INS अर्नाला वाज डिलीवर्ड एट कोचिन शिपयार्ड, केरला. Third statement is Arnala was built by Garden Rich shipbuilders and engineers, delivered and at L&T shipyard. So option C is the right answer and not option B is the right answer. So option C is the right answer. Absolutely right. So Fruity is saying, sir, there is a lot of data. Yes, there is a lot of data. In the examination, when you will see, you will find that such kind of questions are being asked. Such kind of lengthy questions will be there in order to ensure that so many aspirants are ending up losing so much of the amount of time in such kind of questions. But we at EduTap, what we want to ensure that even the worst to worst, the major difficult questions are being asked there in the examination. You have basically the ability to sail through such kind of questions and answer them correctly and clear the examination, right? So that's why we need to understand here, ensure this, that yes, we are doing the practice of solving such kind of questions, such kind of database questions, so that in the examination also we are able to identify the right data and we are able to identify the right answer as well. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ दोस्तों. द फर्स्ट 3 नैनोमीटर चिप डिजाइन सेंटर्स इंडिया के अंदर लॉन्च किए गए एट द 2 लोकेशंस. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कहां पर, किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने किया है. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जिसने डेवलप किया 7 नैनोमीटर 5 नैनोमीटर नोड्स को. What is the name? It is Renesas Electronics India Private Limited, which has launched this 7 nanometer 5 nanometer chips, right? Next question. So the question is on Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gavai, who is the 52nd Chief Justice of India. So we all know that he assumed as the 52nd Chief Justice of India. So he's the first practicing Buddhist CGI of India. You have to identify which of the following statements are correct with respect to his appointment and tenure. Again, एक थोड़ा unconventional question है, but again with the help of this question we are trying to identify how much in depth you have covered these news articles. कितना in depth level पर आपने इस question को, इस news article को पढ़ा है कि अगर exam में, if in the examination they will be touching that much of the depth, are you able to answer the question? So basically यहाँ पर हमें एक important चीज याद रखनी है दोस्तों, वो ये है कि जब आप ऐसे questions को देखते हैं ना, तो हमें एक चीज ensure करके रखनी है कि देखिए यहाँ पर कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपको ऑब्वियस लाइंस पर नहीं मिलते, कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चंस जिन लाइंस पर, जिन डायमेंशंस पर हम कभी फोकस नहीं करते, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस को हम क्या करेंगे, हम स्किप करेंगे एग्जाम के अंदर एंड वी विल मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, राइट. बट अगर ऐसा नहीं है तब तो उस टाइम पर वी हैव टू रियली सी दैट ओके व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द राइट पार्ट एंड वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट एंड वी विल बी अटेम्प्टिंग द क्वेश्चन. सो हियर द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज ही हैज सक्सीडेड जस्टिस संजीव खन्ना एंड विल बी सक्सीडेड बाय जस्टिस सूर्यकांत. तो इनको भी कौन succeed करेंगे, that is Justice Suryakant. Then we are having, he is from Amravati, Maharashtra, first Dalit to become Chief Justice of India. Tenure उनका जो है that will be continuing for over 6 months और November 2025 में his tenure will be over, right? So what is the right answer? Option B, only 1 and 3 are the right part. Second statement is incorrect, guys. It says the first Dalit to become Chief Justice of India. Let me tell you here, he is the second Dalit Chief Justice of India after the KG Balakrishnan, who served as a CGI from 2007 to 2010. तो 2007 से 10 के बीच के अंदर ये person has already served as a CGI of India. That's why जो BR गवई जी हैं ये 52nd CGI बने हैं, but he is the second Dalit person. Okay, absolutely right. Next question, Indian cricketer जो पहले विकेट कीपर बने हैं to record 200 dismissals. So 200 dismissals को रिकॉर्ड करने वाले वो पहले विकेट कीपर का क्या नाम है? He is a former Indian captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who has achieved this particular record. So that is the right answer. Next question. So Dash launched India's first hydrogen powered truck for mining logistics. So basically mining के लिए ये trucks को launch किया गया. What is the name of that organization? The organization name is basically Adani Enterprises. Adani Enterprises is the right answer, which have come up with the India's first hydrogen powered truck. So why exactly we are discussing this? Because it has been done for the very first time. That's why it becomes more important from examination point of view. Whatever happens for the first time, it has a separate level of importance from examination point of view. इसीलिए हमें इसको थोड़ा ध्यान से कवर करना है. Okay? Next question. Next question. So Indian fintech company became first to support over 140 currencies. तो 140 करेंसीज को अपने इंटरनेशनल पेमेंट गेटवे पर सपोर्ट करने वाली वो पर्टिकुलर कंपनी का क्या नाम है? द फिनटेक कंपनी इज बेसिकली कैश फ्री पेमेंट्स. तो कैश फ्री पेमेंट्स इज द राइट आंसर है. सो आई थिंक इज यहां पर जो आपका आंसर है इस कैश फ्री पेमेंट द राइट आंसर. प्लीज टेल मी हियर, प्लीज टेल मी द चैट बॉक्स. सो यस, कैश फ्री इज द राइट आंसर. ओके, बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो इंडियन रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी कंपनी बिकेम द वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट इंडिपेंडेंट पावर प्रोड्यूसर टू बी सर्टिफाइड वाटर पॉजिटिव. सो व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट इंडियन रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी कंपनी? सो गाइस, आज के टाइम वी ऑल नो दैट अदानी इज रियली मेकिंग अस सो मच ऑफ द न्यूज, राइट? तो काफी जगहों पर वो फर्स्ट कंपनी बन रही है एंड हियर आल्सो इट हैज बिकम द फर्स्ट सच कंपनी टू बी सर्टिफाइड एज वाटर पॉजिटिव. तो वाटर पॉजिटिव बनी है ये पर्टिकुलर कंपनी. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. So next question, the American university became the first to receive UGC approval to establish a degree granting campus in India. What is the name of that American university? जो इंडिया के अंदर एक कैंपस ओपन करेगी. The name of the company is university is Illinois Tech University. Illinois Tech University is the right answer. Okay? इसके अलावा दोस्तों there is particular organization जिसने एक MOU साइन किया, एक अप्रूवल लिया है from the UGC and it will be setting up its campus in the गिफ्ट सिटी गुजरात. तो गिफ्ट सिटी के अंदर वो कौन सी इंस्टीट्यूशन है जो अपना कैंपस बनाएगा? दैट इज IIFT. IIFT इज द राइट आंसर. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. डैश बिकेम द थर्ड कंपनी आफ्टर ONGC टू एंटर द टॉप 100 लिस्ट ऑफ मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनीज. तो टॉप 100 लिस्ट ऑफ द मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनीज में अपना नाम दर्ज कराने वाली इंडिया की वो तीसरी कंपनी बन चुकी है. सो बेसिकली आफ्टर द ONGC एंड रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज, द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी इज State Bank of India. So SBI is the right answer, right? Absolutely. सो आप देख सकते हैं तो SBI हैज जॉइंड ग्लोबल टॉप 100 मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनीज लिस्ट विद द नेट प्रॉफिट ऑफ $9.2 बिलियन, और ये तीसरी इंडियन कंपनी बन चुकी है आफ्टर ONGC and basically your Reliance Industries Limited. Okay, so it has become the third such organization of our country to achieve this milestone. Next question. So major anti-Naxal operation known as Operation Black Forest was being conducted. You have to identify here what was the location where this operation was being conducted. So operation कहाँ पर conduct किया गया दोस्तों? So it was conducted basically in the Karegutlu hill at Chhattisgarh Telangana border. Option B is the right answer. Now guys, इसके अलावा we have also covered one more operation today, and what was that operation? That was Operation Shakti. Operation Shakti को हमने cover किया. On which date it was being conducted? Operation Shakti के अंदर हमने न्यूक्लियर टेस्ट किए थे, right? 11th of May is the date. 11th of May, the date when we celebrate National Technology Day. Okay? Operation Shakti. इसके अलावा हमने बात की Operation सिंदूर की. Operation सिंदूर. Operation Sindoor, it was a retaliatory action taken by India against the Pakistan, right? Operation Sindoor, India और पाकिस्तान याद रखिए, ठीक है. इसके अलावा दोस्तों there is a Operation Olivia. Operation Olivia was being conducted this year in the month of May 2025, where we are basically focusing on the conservation of Olivia turtles, right? Olivia turtles की conservation के बारे में हमने यहाँ पर बात की थी. I hope that everybody is clear with this. So basically with the help of this हमने तीनों operations को cover कर लिया है, right? तो इस तरीके से हम club कर सकते हैं similar kind of news articles को, and we can remember them from examination point of view. So are you guys really enjoying the session? Please tell me in the chat box. सबको मजा आ रहा है? Are you guys enjoying the way we are covering these questions? क्योंकि in the examination let me tell you here कि जब आप एक कीवर्ड से 10 अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशंस को आंसर कर पाएंगे, उनके बारे में बता पाएंगे, then only you can say that yes, हमारी जनरल अवेयरनेस की प्रिपरेशन अच्छी है. अगर आप नहीं कर पा रहे हैं दोस्तों उसको, तो यहां पर हमें इंश्योर करना है कि बेसिकली हम देखें कि what exactly is the problem that we are facing, so that we can come up with the solution to that, right? And I think this mind mapping technique is one of the best solutions which can help you to understand and to retain this important information from examination point of view. Okay, बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले न्यूज आर्टिकल की तरफ, सॉरी अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो जनता की कहानी मेरी आत्मकथा is basically an autobiography which has been written by one of the person. You need to identify the name of the person. तो क्या इन पर्सन का रही सही आंसर ये आप मुझे बताएंगे कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. सो आरिफ मोहम्मद खान, थावरचंद गहलोत, बंदारू दत्तात्रेय एंड गुलाबचंद कटारिया, रमेश बैस. व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर? The right answer here is option C, that is Bandaru Dattatreya is the right answer, who was earlier serving as the governor of Haryana. ठीक है, बट अगर हम बात करें दोस्तों गवर्नर ऑफ हरियाणा की, so recently we have seen that the governor of Haryana has been changed. Can anybody tell me the name of the person? Can anybody tell me the name of the person who has been appointed as the governor of Haryana? That is Ashim Kumar Ghosh. Ashim Kumar Ghosh has been appointed as the governor of Haryana. और ये कब की न्यूज है दोस्तों? अभी 3 दिन पहले की न्यूज है, राइट? 3 days back we have seen that the governor of Haryana, lieutenant governor of Ladakh and the governor of Goa has been changed. अगर हम बात करते हैं गोवा की, can anybody tell me कि गोवा के नए गवर्नर का क्या नाम है? The name of the person is Ashok Raju. Ashok Raju is the right answer. Now please tell me लद्दाख. तो लद्दाख के लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर का क्या नाम है? कैन एनीबडी टेल मी दैट? सो द पर्सन इज सुफ्रूटी सिंह समथिंग पति, राइट? सो नो, दैट इज नॉट द राइट आंसर. द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन इज कविंदर गुप्ता. कविंदर गुप्ता, ठीक है जी. और जब ऐसे कुछ लेटेस्ट अपॉइंटमेंट्स होते हैं, वी हैव टू इंश्योर दिस दैट वी आर कवरिंग देम फ्रॉम एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो अब यहां पर हमने क्या किया, हमने अपने एक पुराने करंट अफेयर, मई के करंट अफेयर को जुलाई के करंट अफेयर के साथ जोड़ा, एंड वी नाउ आर बेसिकली मोर अपडेटेड फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. हमने और यहाँ पे अपडेट कर लिया खुद को कि ठीक है, अगर मान लीजिए पहले बंदारू दत्तात्रेय पहले थे हरियाणा के गवर्नर, तो बेसिकली इन्होंने अपनी आत्मकथा लिखी, जनता की कहानी मेरी आत्मकथा. बट यहाँ पर अगर हम देखें तो रिसेंटली अपॉइंटमेंट्स में कुछ चेंज हुआ है और हरियाणा के गवर्नर चेंज हो चुके हैं। अश्विनी कुमार घोष इज द न्यू गवर्नर ऑफ हरियाणा। ठीक है, इस तरीके से हमें करंट अफेयर्स को अपडेट रखना है। अगर हम पुराने मंथ्स का करंट अफेयर कर रहे हैं तो अगेन वी हैव टू सी दैट वेदर दिस करंट अफेयर हैज गॉट चेंज और नॉट, ये भी हमें ही ध्यान रखना है। ठीक है, तो जब भी आप करंट अफेयर्स को कवर कर रहे हैं दोस्तों, इस चीज का ध्यान रखना बहुत जरूरी है। बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। फर्स्ट इंडियन स्टेट टू हैव अ सॉइल मैप। तो सॉइल मैप किस स्टेट ने रिसेंटली लॉन्च किया? पहला स्टेट जो बना है जिसने अपना सॉइल मैप लॉन्च किया है, अगेन इट इज महाराष्ट्र गाइस। महाराष्ट्र इज द सेम इंडियन स्टेट विच हैज कम अप विद द आदि शक्ति अभियान। आदि शक्ति अभियान को लॉन्च करने वाला स्टेट बना है महाराष्ट्र। महाराष्ट्र इज ऑल्सो द चैंपियन ऑफ द खेलो इंडिया यूथ गेम्स, राइट। इसके अलावा हमने एक और चीज की थी, दैट पोर्ट शिप बिल्डिंग पॉलिसी लाने वाला भी महाराष्ट्र ही स्टेट है। और यहां पर एक न्यूज और ऐड हो जाती है, फर्स्ट इंडियन स्टेट टू हैव अ सॉइल मैप। तो सॉइल मैप किसने लॉन्च किया? महाराष्ट्र ने लॉन्च किया, राइट। सो फ्रॉम एक तीर से चार निशाने हम यहां पर लगा लिए हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन। ओके, बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। सो यूनिक वेसल मॉडल आफ्टर 5th century CE शिप फ्रॉम द अजंता केव पेंटिंग्स। तो इसको यहां पर रीडेवलप किया गया अंडर द ट्राइपार्टाइट एग्रीमेंट। यू हैव टू टेल मी हियर व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दिस न्यू शिप। इस यूनिक वेसल का क्या नाम है दोस्तों? INS वल्सुरा, समुद्रा, कौंडिन्य, कलवरी और अरिंदम। सो द नेम ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर vessel is INSV कौंडिन्य। दैट इज द राइट आंसर। सो यू कैन सी हियर, ये फर्स्ट एवर एंशिएंट स्टिच सेल शिप है जिसको इंडक्ट किया गया था इंडियन नेवी के अंदर एट द नेवल बेस ऑफ करवाड़, राइट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया लॉन्च द E0FIR इनिशिएटिव। और आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन सी स्टेटमेंट यहां पर करेक्ट है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस इनिशिएटिव। So first statement, it is launched by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. Second statement, complaints involving 5 lakh or more is there. Third statement, victims are required to visit police station within the 3 days to convert zero FIR into a regular FIR. So दोस्तों कभी कभी क्या होता है कि मान लीजिए आप एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेस के अंदर है, राइट, एक एरिया के अंदर है और यहाँ पर आपके साथ कोई ऐसा फाइनेंशियल लॉस वाली इंसिडेंट होती है, राइट, और आप जाते हैं नियरेस्ट पुलिस स्टेशन के ऊपर, आप जाते हैं नियरेस्ट पुलिस स्टेशन के पास और वो पुलिस स्टेशन आपको बताता है कि देखिए कि ये जो एरिया जहां पर ये चोरी हुई है, सो बेसिकली ये दूसरे पुलिस स्टेशन के दायरे में आता है, तो आपको इस पुलिस स्टेशन के पास जाना पड़ेगा FIR दर्ज कराने के लिए। बट क्योंकि उस टाइम पर उनकी कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर हो, जल्दी से जल्दी प्रॉपर एक्शन लिया जा सके, दैट्स व्हाई गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया कम अप विद द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ जीरो FIR, जिसको आप 3 डेज के अंदर यहां पर रेगुलर FIR के अंदर कन्वर्ट करा सकते हो। बट इसके लिए जो एप्लीकेबल अमाउंट है दोस्तों, देयर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू कवर। जो एप्लीकेबल अमाउंट है वो कितना है? दैट इज ₹10 lakh और मोर एंड नॉट द 5 lakh और मोर। सो दैट्स व्हाई ऑप्शन बी इज द राइट आंसर, दैट इज 1 and 3 आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट, बट स्टेटमेंट 2 इज इनकरेक्ट वन। सो स्टेटमेंट 2 क्यों इनकरेक्ट है ये भी हमने कवर कर लिया। दैट इज ₹10 lakh इज दैट पर्टिकुलर मिनिमम अमाउंट जब आपकी ये FIR जीरो FIR में यहां पर काउंट की जाएगी। दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज द राइट आंसर। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इंडिया डिप्लॉयड एन इंडिजिनस AI पावर्ड एयर डिफेंस कमांड। सो बेसिकली ड्यूरिंग द इंडिया पाकिस्तान रकस, राइट, जब ये टफ सिचुएशन आ रही थी उस टाइम पर पाकिस्तान ने भी काफी सारे मिसाइल्स एंड ड्रोन्स को इंडिया के ऊपर डाला, राइट। बट वो कौन सा एक ऐसा सिस्टम था इंडिया का जिसने हमें उन ड्रोन्स और मिसाइल्स से बचाया? व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट? सो आकाश में अपने तीरों से उड़ाने वाले उन सभी ड्रोन्स को क्या है उस सिस्टम का नाम? दैट इज आकाश तीर। आकाश तीर इज द राइट आंसर। इस तरीके से याद रखिए दोस्तों, आकाश तीर, पाकिस्तानी ड्रोन्स को आकाश में ही तीर से उड़ाने वाला आकाश तीर, दैट्स द राइट आंसर। सो आप देख सकते हैं आकाश तीर इज इंडियाज इंडिजिनस AI पावर्ड एयर डिफेंस कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सिस्टम। ये पहला ऑपरेशनल AI वॉर क्लाउड बिल्ट एंटायरली विदाउट एनी फॉरेन कंपोनेंट्स, तो कंप्लीटली इंडियन सिस्टम है which has been created by India. Next question, Union Ministry of Forest, Environment, Climate Change launched dash as a nationwide campaign to run up the World Environment Day 2025. World Environment Day कब सेलिब्रेट करते हैं? 5 जून को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। तो बेसिकली एज अ रन अप कैंपेन, रन अप कैंपेन मतलब कोई चीज आगे फ्यूचर में आने वाली है, तो उसके लिए अभी से हम तैयारी कर रहे हैं। सो कौन सा कैंपेन हमने लॉन्च किया? दैट इज वन नेशन वन मिशन एंड प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन, दैट इज द राइट आंसर। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ऑपरेशन ओलिविया। आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है द नेम ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन व्हिच हैज कम अप एंड स्टार्टेड द ऑपरेशन ओलिविया। I've already told you that is for the nesting grounds of olive ridley turtles. You need to identify here what is the right answer. So option 1, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Wildlife Institute of India, Indian Coast Guard, Odisha Forest Department, National Biodiversity Authority. What is the right answer here? Right answer is Indian Coast Guard, जिन्होंने इस ऑपरेशन को स्टार्ट किया है. ठीक है. इसके अलावा हमने कवर किया ऑपरेशन शक्ति, जो कि हम देखते हैं इट इज associated with National Technology Day every year on 11th of May. And apart from that, we covered the Operation Sindoor, that is between India and Pakistan. Okay. Next question. So Department of Post ने commemorative postage stamp launch किया है to mark 125 years of कोडाई कनाल सोलर ऑब्जर्वेटरी. दोस्तों 125 years सोलर ऑब्जर्वेटरी के हो चुके हैं. अब क्योंकि ये सोलर ऑब्जर्वेटरी के 125 years हो चुके हैं, तो काफी जरूरी है पेपर के लिए कि ये ऑब्जर्वेटरी है कहां पर, where exactly this observatory is located. So that is something we need to understand here. So what is the right answer? The right answer here is option C, that is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is the place where this particular observatory is located. That is the right answer. So it was established on 1st April 1899 and is India's oldest operational astronomical observatory. Next question, International Day for Women in Maritime. International Day for Women in Maritime observe किया गया with the theme. What was the theme of this particular day? So हम बात कर रहे हैं Women's in Maritime. Recently हमने बात की थी दोस्तों कि Maritime के अंदर इंडिया की अगर बात की जाए तो women's का 650% राइज हुआ है in terms of employment generation. तो मरीन इंडस्ट्री के अंदर 650% इंक्रीमेंट हुआ, और ये हमने कब पढ़ा, जब इंटरनेशनल मैरीटाइम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का सेशन हुआ था रिसेंटली लंदन के अंदर. ठीक है. सो इस तरीके से हमें कुछ करंट अफेयर्स के साथ हम याद कर सकते हैं. अभी हाल ही में सीडी 360 सीरीज सेशन के अंदर हमने इसे कवर किया था. सो व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर, व्हाट इज द थीम फॉर दिस ईयर? दैट इज एन ओशन ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन. ओशन फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन इज द राइट आंसर. Next question, Banu Mushtaq short story collection Heart Lamp became first Kannada language work to win the Booker Prize. So international Booker Prize is there now. And you need to identify here कि कौन से statement यहाँ पर correct है. So international Booker Prize की बात कर रहे हैं दोस्तों हम. So आपको identify करना है कौन से statement correct है. पहली statement किसने translate किया? दीपा बस्ती ने translate किया, तो पहली Indian translator बनी to win the prize. Second statement, Heart Lamp पहली short story collection है जिसने इंटरनेशनल बुकर प्राइज को जीता है. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट, इसे एस्टैब्लिश किया गया 2015 के अंदर और अवॉर्डेड बाय द कॉमनवेल्थ लिटरेरी फाउंडेशन. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन से स्टेटमेंट्स यहां पर करेक्ट है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव. सो व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट हियर? सो टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 35, what is the right answer? The right answer is option A, that is statement number 1 and 2 are correct here. अगर हम बात करते हैं बुकर प्राइज की दोस्तों, so 2005 में इसे लॉन्च किया गया था and it is been awarded by Booker Prize Foundation and not the Commonwealth Literary Foundation. So Commonwealth Literary Foundation नहीं, ये Booker Prize Foundation देती है. 2005 में establish हुआ था, not in the 2015. That's why these statements are incorrect. Okay. Next question. So Dash became the first Indian state to launch Vistadome coach-based jungle safari train. तो विस्टाडोम कोच बेस्ड जंगल सफारी ट्रेन को लॉन्च करने वाली ये स्टेट का क्या नाम है? द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट इज उत्तर प्रदेश. यूपी इज द राइट आंसर. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. यूपी इज द राइट आंसर. एंड इफ आई आस्क यू गाइस कि हमने एक फॉरेस्ट अलर्ट सिस्टम के बारे में बात की थी, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट व्हिच हैज कम अप विद दैट फॉरेस्ट अलर्ट सिस्टम? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी दैट? इसके अलावा वी हैव आल्सो कवर्ड so many other important part related to the artificial intelligence, right? तो इसीलिए I always tell you that whenever we are covering these kind of current affair articles, it is very important to associate the different news articles together so that we can retain that from the examination point of view. Okay? I hope आप सभी इस चीज को समझ सकते हैं from the examination point of view, right? So इंडिया का पहला beggar city कहां पर था? इंदौर मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर था. ठीक है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. अब बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज असम गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च फर्स्ट एआई पावर्ड वर्चुअल न्यूज एंकर. सो आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पार्ट, राइट? तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बेस्ड वर्चुअल न्यूज एंकर जिसको लॉन्च किया गया, व्हाट इज द नेम? द नेम ऑफ इट इज अंकिता. अंकिता इज द राइट आंसर. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो डैश बिकेम द फर्स्ट एवर पर्सन फ्रॉम सीआईएसएफ जिन्होंने सक्सेसफुली माउंट एवरेस्ट समिट को क्लियर किया है. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्सन? सक्सेसफुली सबमिटेड द माउंट एवरेस्ट. व्हाट इज द नेम? द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन इज गीता समोता. गीता समोता इज द राइट आंसर. Next question. So dash in Nepal officially declared dead. So one of the glacier in the Nepal was being declared dead. What is the name of that glacier? It is very important. Whenever we see that such kind of natural entity has been declared living being or a dead, so basically it becomes important, right? So what is the right answer here? What is the name of that glacier? It is Yala Glacier. Yala Glacier has been declared dead by Nepal government. That's it. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, चाइना ने लॉन्च किया है डैश इनिशिएटिव, द वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट स्पेस बेस्ड एआई पावर्ड सुपर कंप्यूटिंग नेटवर्क. तो फर्स्ट स्पेस बेस्ड एआई पावर्ड सुपर कंप्यूटिंग नेटवर्क को लॉन्च किया चाइना ने. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ इट? इज इट द स्काईब्रेन ग्रिड, क्वांटम लिंक नेक्सस, सेलेस्टियल मैट्रिक्स, ऑर्बिनेट, एआई क्लस्टर, थ्री बॉडी कंप्यूटिंग कॉन्स्टलेशन? व्हाट इज द नेम? इट इज थ्री बॉडी कंप्यूटिंग कॉन्स्टलेशन इज द राइट आंसर. राइट, ऑप्शन सी. This is the right answer. And now one thing that I have observed that in the many questions, जब मैं आपको क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग कर रहा हूं दोस्तों, I have observed one thing, और मैं चाहूंगा कि आप मुझे बताएं कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर भी कि क्या ये बात सही है या नहीं है. मैंने भी देखा जब मैं आपसे क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग कर रहा हूं तो so many people are able to give me the answer without even having any option on the screen. क्वेश्चन भी स्क्रीन पर नहीं है, ऑप्शन भी स्क्रीन पर नहीं है, बट स्टिल यू गाइस आर एबल टू आंसर मी द क्वेश्चन. तो कौन कौन सा स्टूडेंट ऐसा है जो कि इस चीज को फील कर रहा है? सो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया, और किस किसने इस चीज को ऑब्जर्व किया? प्लीज टेल मी इन द चैट बॉक्स. सो एंड व्हाई एग्जैक्टली दिस इज हैपनिंग गाइस? व्हाई एग्जैक्टली दिस इज हैपनिंग? बिकॉज ऑफ the multiple times we are revisiting that single information again and again. We are again and again asking you that question. We are again and again giving you that information. We are again and again associating that information with some other information. That is the reason that we are able to answer the question without having any options. So is this really raising your confidence level or not? Please tell me. इससे क्या आपका confidence level increase हो रहा है from the examination point of view or not? So it is very important that when you are going back from this session, you are feeling confident that ठीक है, अगर मैंने पहले कुछ नहीं भी पढ़ा था तो at least session के बाद there are few things that I am able to understand, I am able to retain from the examination point of view. So ये बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है, जो अगर ये टेक अवे आपके लिए सेशन से, so that is really a good part. Okay, and that is the beauty not of this session but your dedication and hard work that you are putting on in attending these sessions, taking away all the important things that you need to from the examination point of view. So hats off to all of you. बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. So Indian Institute of Foreign Trade received government approval to open its first overseas campus. इससे पहले हमने बात की थी गिफ्ट सिटी के अंदर ये लॉन्च करेंगे, बट ओवरसीज कैंपस भी सेटअप करने वाले हैं. कहां पर करेंगे? दे विल बी सेटिंग कैंपस इन दुबई. ऑप्शन सी, दुबई इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, फीफा ने अनाउंस किया अपकमिंग होस्ट नेशंस फॉर द वुमेन्स वर्ल्ड कप. तो वुमेन्स वर्ल्ड कप के होस्ट नेशंस अनाउंस किए. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है 2035 का एडिशन कहां पर होगा. Which country will be hosting the 2035 edition of this World Cup? It will be hosted by United Kingdom. UK is the right answer. दोस्तों अगर हम बात करते हैं ब्राजील की, so ब्राजील की पर्सन है हंगरिया, right? Just remember it from here. World Food Prize winner कौन है? हंगरिया, right? Brazil is a country which is having the presidency of BRICS, and it also hosted the BRICS summit this year. So BRICS 17th summit was being hosted by Brazil in Rio de Janeiro. Absolutely right. Next question. Next question, my dear friends. So Virat Kohli announced his retirement from Test cricket. Which of the following records he is held by him as a Test captain? As a Test captain, उनके कौन-कौन से records थे? We all know that this legendary cricketer has just announced his retirement recently. Now you need to identify here what is the name of that particular, what is that record that he is having as a captain. First statement, most test runs by an Indian batsman. Second one, highest individual test score. Third one, only Indian to win a test series in the England. Fourth, most test centuries by an Indian captain. और fastest to 5000 test runs. आप देख सकते हैं बहुत ज्यादा डेटा है दोस्तों. Let me tell you, this is the kind of question that we can definitely skip in the examination, right? क्योंकि इतना सारा डेटा about one person और एक स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन के डिफरेंट रिकॉर्ड्स, अगर हमें ये याद करना होता है कि ठीक है विराट कोहली को कोई मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट मिला वर्ल्ड कप के अंदर, डेफिनेटली इट इज वेरी गुड टू रिटेन, बट ऐसे रिकॉर्ड्स को याद करना इट्स रियली बिट डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वी आर हैविंग सो मच ऑफ द डेटा टू रिटेन फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. सो डेफिनेटली इफ इन द एग्जामिनेशन सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज कमिंग अगेन, अगर हम आरबीआई की बात करते हैं दोस्तों, 25 मिनट्स में 80 क्वेश्चंस हैं पेपर के अंदर, बट वी आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू आंसर ऑल ऑफ देम, राइट? सो दिस इज वन सच क्वेश्चन वेयर वी बेसिकली टेंड टू वेस्ट आवर टाइम। इसीलिए इंश्योर करना है कि इस ट्रैप में ना पड़े। और जैसे देखा कि यार ऐसा क्वेश्चन है कि इतने सारे डायमेंशंस निकल रहे हैं, लेट्स लीव इट एंड जस्ट मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। सो हियर द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी, दैट इज द मोस्ट टेस्ट सेंचुरीज बाय एन इंडियन कैप्टन, दैट इज 20 इज द राइट आंसर हियर। ठीक है, तो आप फोर्थ हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर रह चुके हैं विराट कोहली फॉर इंडिया इन द टेस्ट आफ्टर सचिन तेंदुलकर, राहुल द्रविड़ एंड सुनील गावस्कर। 68 टेस्ट मैचेस में इन्होंने कैप्टन किया इंडिया को और 40 विंस रही इनके पास, एंड ही वाज द मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल कैप्टन ऑफ इंडिया इन द टेस्ट क्रिकेट, और ए फोर्थ मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल टेस्ट कैप्टन रहे ओवरऑल अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड आफ्टर ग्रेम स्मिथ, रिकी पॉन्टिंग एंड स्टीव वॉ। सबसे ज्यादा टेस्ट सेंचुरीज थी इनके एज ए इंडियन कैप्टन, दैट इज 20 सेंचुरीज, ओनली कैप्टन टू हैव स्कोर्ड 7 डबल सेंचुरीज इन द टेस्ट क्रिकेट, एंड these are the records we have basically covered this part in the session, but again guys, so many of the data is here, right? So we can basically skip such kind of questions in the examination. बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे। वर्ल्ड्स टॉलेस्ट डैम नियर्ड कंप्लीशन एज अ पार्ट ऑफ अ मेजर हाइड्रोपावर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट इन ईस्ट एशिया। You need to tell me here what is the name of this project, where exactly it is situated. The project is situated where? In the Tibet Autonomous Region, Sichuan Province, Yunnan Province, Hubei Province, Guangdong Province. What is the name of that province? That is Sichuan Province of China, जहां पर ये सबसे बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट बन रहा है of the dam. That is the world's tallest dam. It is near its completion, and this is something which is really also वेरी कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न फॉर इंडिया एज वेल। ठीक है, इसको डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे, आउटसाइड द एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव है। बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। इंडिया लॉन्च चिप बेस्ड ई पासपोर्ट्स दैट फीचर एडवांस इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिक्योरिटी फीचर्स। यू हैव टू टेल मी हियर व्हाट इज द कलर ऑफ द सिंबल प्रिंटेड बिलो द फ्रंट कवर। तो जो हमारा ई पासपोर्ट है उसमें जो फ्रंट कवर है उसके नीचे वो कौन सा सिंबल किस कलर का है? द कलर इज बेसिकली गोल्ड। अगेन सम अनकन्वेंशनल काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज देयर। ठीक है, बट स्टिल यहां पर हम देख सकते हैं दोस्तों, क्योंकि एक नया पार्ट रिलीज किया है इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने, एक नया इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च किया, तो डेफिनेटली वी शुड सी दैट ओके व्हाट एग्जैक्टली देयर इट इज। ओके, सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी नीड टू सी। सो ई पासपोर्ट इंटीग्रेट्स एडवांस्ड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टेक्नोलॉजी इन इटसेल्फ, राइट? और ये किसके साथ जुड़ा है? एम्बेडेड विद रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी आइडेंटिफिकेशन चिप्स। गाइस, RFID, इफ आई आस्क यू दैट जब भी आप कभी लॉन्ग ड्राइव पर जाते हैं हाईवेज पे, राइट, you see that there are so many toll collection systems which are placed there, and what technology they are using in order to collect toll from you, from where we basically pay the toll. We pay the toll with the help of FASTag card. What technology has been used there? That is also the RFID technology, that is radio frequency identification technology which has been used. So the rollout, it began under a pilot initiative with the Passport Seva program version 2.0. Ministry of External Affairs का program है। 12 regional passport offices recently they are having the authority to issue e-passports. Passports are distinguished by gold colored symbol. तो ये इसकी एक खास बात है दोस्तों, ये एक इसका differentiating factor है। So that's why we have asked you this in this particular question. ठीक है, I hope everybody is able to understand this part. Right, बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ दोस्तों। So Dash became the first ever digital asset company क्रिप्टोकरेंसी एक्सचेंज टू बी इंक्लूडेड इन द S&P 500 इंडेक्स। तो S&P 500 इंडेक्स में ऐड होने वाली वो कौन सी एंटिटी है? दैट इज कॉइनबेस ग्लोबल। कॉइनबेस ग्लोबल हैज बिकम फर्स्ट एवर डिजिटल एसेट कंपनी टू बी इंक्लूडेड इन दिस लिस्ट। नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, इंडियाज फर्स्ट माहौत विलेज। इंडिया का पहला माहौत विलेज कहां पर बना है? आपके सामने 5 ऑप्शन दिए गए हैं, बंदीपुर, काजीरंगा, मुदुमलाई, पेरियार और सिमिलीपल बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व। व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द प्लेस वेयर इंडियाज फर्स्ट माहौत विलेज इज बीन लोकेटेड? इट इज लोकेटेड इन Mudumalai Tiger Reserve of Tamil Nadu. That is the right answer. And when I ask you that what is the name of the state where the Kodaikanal Observatory is there, astronomical observatory जिसने 125 years को recently complete किया है आपने, 125 years इस astronomical observatory के complete हुए हैं। What is the state where it is located? It is located in Indian state of Tamil Nadu. That is the right answer. So these are the things that we need to understand from examination point of view. Okay. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। मेजर ध्यानचंद खेल रत्न अवार्ड वाज बीन अवॉर्डेड टू 2 इंडियन बैडमिंटन स्टार्स। किस किस को ये अवार्ड मिला है ये आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है दोस्तों। मेजर ध्यानचंद खेल रत्न अवार्ड दिया गया, किस किस को दिया गया? काइंडली ट्राई टू गिव मी द आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन। व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दीज 2 प्लेयर्स हु हैव बीन गिवन दिस अवार्ड? द अवार्ड हैज बीन गिवन टू सात्विक साईराज, रंकी रेड्डी एंड चिराग शेट्टी। ऑप्शन बी इज द राइट आंसर। Absolutely right, Fruity. You have given the right answer to this question. Abhinay, Harshal, Gururaj, everybody has given the right answer. Next question, India's first dengue vaccine TUC-003 was developed. इसको किसने डेवलप किया? दोस्तों जब ऐसी कोई चीज पहली बार होती है, कोई पहली वैक्सीन बनी, तो कौन उसको बना रहा है? Who is developing? Which organization is behind it? That is very important. What is the name of that organization? That is Takeda and Biologically. आप नाम से देख सकते हैं दोस्तों, Takeda and Biological E, that is the right answer. Okay, तो इस तरीके से थोड़ा सा कोरिलेशन बनाकर चलिए. Okay, that is the right part. Next question. So Dash become India's first payment gateway to launch an MCP, that is Model Context Protocol. Model Context Protocol को लॉन्च करने वाली वो पहली कंपनी कौन बनी? What is the name of that organization? First payment gateway, that is Razorpay. Razorpay is the right answer. Next question. So guys, इससे पहले हमने एक और चीज की थी, and you have to tell me here the name of that entity जिसने की 140 से ज्यादा करेंसीज को सपोर्ट करती है on its international payment gateway. Can anybody tell me the name of that gateway? Why exactly we are covering this? Because हमने इससे पहले पेमेंट गेटवे की बात की. यहां पर भी पेमेंट गेटवे है, the payment gateway is Razorpay, और वहां पर भी पेमेंट गेटवे था. What was that payment gateway which is supporting 140 plus international currencies? That is cash free. Cash free is the right answer. So यहाँ पर I can see that people are able to give me the answer without having even any option here. That is the most beautiful thing that you have shown me in this session, guys. Well done. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. इंडिया का पहला गोल्ड मेल्टिंग ATM. First gold melting ATM has been launched by which of the following? एक हैदराबाद बेस्ड फिनटेक कंपनी है जिसने इसको लॉन्च किया, एंड द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी इज गोल्ड सिक्का. तो गोल्ड की बात हो रही है दोस्तों, गोल्ड सिक्का ही देगी गोल्ड का सिक्का, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई गोल्ड सिक्का इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, 7th edition of खेलो इंडिया यूथ गेम्स. So Khelo India Youth Games, we have already seen that it has been championed by Maharashtra, right? So it was held in Patna, Bihar. You have to identify the statements which are correct here. So first statement, Maharashtra secured overall championship for the 3rd consecutive time. Second statement, Tamil Nadu on the 2nd place. Rajasthan is on the 3rd place. So यहाँ पर बेसिकली मोटा मोटा हमें याद करना है कि टॉप 3 स्टेट्स कौन सी हैं, ये हमें पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है? सो खेलो इंडिया यूथ गेम्स में टॉप पर महाराष्ट्र है, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. सो ऑप्शन 1 and 3 इज द राइट आंसर. Rajasthan is on the 3rd position, but on the 2nd position it is not Tamil Nadu, guys, it is Haryana. So on the top Maharashtra, then Haryana, and then it is Rajasthan which is on the top. So basically these are the top 3 states: Maharashtra, Haryana and Rajasthan. Okay, I hope this is clear. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ICAR ने लॉन्च किया 15 डे का नेशनल कैंपेन फ्रॉम पुरी ओडिशा. दोस्तों पुरी ओडिशा से एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट कैंपेन को लॉन्च किया गया, जहां पर हमने अपने फार्मर्स को बताया अबाउट द डिफरेंट इनिशिएटिव्स दैट हैव बीन टेकन फॉर ऑल ऑफ देम, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट दे आर फेसिंग, सो दैट हम उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स को भी फेस किया जा सके, उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स को रिजॉल्व किया जा सके, एड्रेस किया जा सके, और उनको किस सॉइल पर कौन सी क्रॉप उगानी चाहिए, कौन सा कमोडिटी उगाना चाहिए, तो सब कुछ हमने उनको बताया इन एज अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट कैंपेन. व्हाट इज दैट कैंपेन? दैट कैंपेन इज विकसित कृषि संकल्प अभियान. इस अभियान के अंदर हमने ये चीज देखी कि यहाँ पर फार्मर्स की जितने भी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इनको सॉल्व किया जाएगा, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई हमने अभियान को लॉन्च किया, विकसित कृषि संकल्प अभियान. तो आप देख सकते हैं दोस्तों, इट वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर रिसर्च. 15 दिन का ये कैंपेन था. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड फार्मर्स वेलफेयर ने इसको लॉन्च किया, राइट? सो इस इनिशिएटिव के अंदर 2170 एक्सपर्ट टीम्स, each comprising at least 4 scientists, they visited 65,000 villages across 723 districts. तो इंडिया के 723 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के अंदर, इन विलेजेस के अंदर ये साइंटिस्ट की टीम गई, वहां पर हमारे फार्मर्स को गाइड किया गया, उनसे बातें की गई और उनके ग्रीवेंसेस को यहाँ पर रिड्रेस किया गया. ओके, दैट्स ऑल. बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट की तरफ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द ध्रुव. तो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पोस्ट ने लॉन्च किया है ध्रुव, जो कि एक इनिशिएटिव है विच प्रोवाइड स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड इंटरऑपरेबल एक्सेसिबल एड्रेस डेटा मैनेजमेंट. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि ध्रुव की फुल फॉर्म क्या है. दोस्तों ध्रुव सबको याद है, ध्रुव सबको याद है, बट उसकी फुल फॉर्म क्या है ये भी याद होना चाहिए एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द फुल फॉर्म? डिजिटल हब फॉर रिसोर्स यूटिलाइजेशन एंड वर्चुअल एड्रेस, डिजिटल हैंडलिंग रजिस्ट्री फॉर यूनिफाइड वर्चुअल एड्रेसिंग. आप देख सकते हैं कि काफी minute differences हैं in these options. So what is the right answer? Gururaj is saying option A is the right answer. What about other people? So fruity is also going with option A. So I think most of the people are going with option A. So let's just go with the option A. But guys, here you can see option A is not the right answer. Right answer is option C. That is digital hub for reference and unique virtual address. आप देख सकते हो कि किस चीज का फर्क है, रिसोर्स यूटिलाइजेशन एंड रेफरेंस एंड यूनिक वर्चुअल एड्रेस. सो आप देख सकते हो कि बहुत माइन्यूट डिफरेंस है और ऐसे क्वेश्चंस एग्जाम में देखे जाते हैं. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी कॉशियस व्हेनेवर वी आर सीइंग सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन द एग्जामिनेशन. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ दोस्तों. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अ जॉइंट मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज कंडक्टेड बिटवीन इंडिया एंड मंगोलिया. व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर? ये एक्सरसाइज उलान बातर मंगोलिया में हुई एंड द नेम ऑफ द एक्सरसाइज इज नोमैडिक एलिफेंट. Nomadic elephant exercise conducted between India and Mongolia. Next news article, first ever nationwide AI literacy initiative for women. तो women's के लिए ये AI literacy initiative को लॉन्च किया गया. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है क्या है इस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव का नाम जिसे नेशनल कमीशन फॉर वुमेन ने लॉन्च किया. What is the name of that initiative? The name of the initiative is Yashoda Artificial Intelligence. Yashoda AI is the right answer. So this initiative is named Yashoda, that is your Sakhi for shaping horizons with digital awareness. Your Sakhi for shaping horizons with digital awareness, that is the name. India's first nationwide literacy initiative है for women, exclusively women's के लिए. Next question, world's first commercial scale e-methanol plant. वर्ल्ड का पहला कमर्शियल स्केल ई मेथनॉल प्लांट कहां पर लॉन्च किया गया है दोस्तों? इट हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड इन Denmark. Denmark is the right answer. Denmark is the right answer. Next question, a study on the global distribution of snow leopards was being conducted and it has revealed a specific region holds the highest recorded density of these elusive animals. You need to tell me here that which region is having this. हम बात करते हैं स्नो लेपर्ड्स की, तो स्नो लेपर्ड्स कहां मिलेंगे हमें? जहां पर स्नोफॉल होता होगा, राइट? एंड व्हाट इज दैट ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस इन आवर कंट्री? दैट इज लद्दाख. लद्दाख इज द राइट आंसर. दोस्तों उत्तराखंड हिमाचल में भी स्नोफॉल होता है, राइट? बट हियर लेट मी टेल यू दैट लद्दाख इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, बिफोर दैट लद्दाख हाईएस्ट रिकॉर्डेड डेंसिटी ऑफ स्नो लेपर्ड्स इन द वर्ल्ड. तो ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है दोस्तों. लद्दाख के अंदर कितने स्नो लेपर्ड्स हैं? 477 है, which is 68% of the India's total snow leopard population of 709. तो सबसे ज्यादा कहां पाए जाते हैं? लद्दाख के अंदर पाए जाते हैं स्नो लेपर्ड्स. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, वर्ल्ड का पहला AI पावर्ड मेडिकल क्लिनिक लॉन्च किया गया कौन सी कंट्री के अंदर? बाय द सिनी AI. तो सिनी AI ने अल्मूजा हेल्थ ग्रुप के साथ इसको लॉन्च किया. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द प्लेस? द नेम ऑफ द प्लेस इज अल हजा, सऊदी अरेबिया. तो यहां पर इसको लॉन्च किया गया. इट इज बेसिकली वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट AI पावर्ड मेडिकल क्लिनिक. सो दोस्तों आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से रिलेटेड काफी चीजें हमने आज कवर की हैं. सो आपके लिए एक होमवर्क में देके जाऊंगा दोस्तों, ठीक है? वो होमवर्क क्या रहेगा? आपको आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को एज अ कीवर्ड मानकर जितने भी क्वेश्चंस हमने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से कवर किए हैं आज, सारे आपको मुझे बताने हैं कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. तो इस पर्टिकुलर सेशन के बाद आप मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बताएंगे कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से रिलेटेड कौन कौन सी चीजों को हमने कवर किया. फॉर एग्जांपल यहां पर आप देख सकते हो वर्ल्ड का फर्स्ट AI पावर्ड मेडिकल क्लिनिक. इससे पहले हमने देखा AI में हेल्प करने के लिए वुमेन्स के लिए एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया गया, यशोदा AI. तो ऐसे जितने भी न्यूज आर्टिकल्स हमने कवर किया, अंकिता को कवर किया, तो सभी आप मुझे बताएंगे कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. ओके, आई होप दिस इज फाइन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. दैट इज द टैगलाइन ऑफ वेव्स 2025. तो हमने वेव समिट को कवर किया. व्हाट इज द टैगलाइन? द टैगलाइन फॉर द वेव समिट इज कनेक्टिंग क्रिएटर्स, कनेक्टिंग कंट्रीज, मुंबई. दैट इज द राइट आंसर. ओके, तो कहां पर ये हुई? मुंबई के अंदर हुई. व्हाट इज द टैगलाइन? कनेक्टिंग क्रिएटर्स, कनेक्टिंग कंट्रीज. दैट इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ द इंडियन इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी एंड इलेक्शन मैनेजमेंट. सो इसके डायरेक्टर जनरल कौन बने हैं? हु हैज टेकन द चार्ज? द पर्सन's नेम इज राकेश वर्मा. दैट इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया ने एक नया इनिशिएटिव लिया and they have introduced to ensure timely updates to electoral rolls. So electoral rolls को टाइमली अपडेट किया जाएगा. कौन सा डेटा है जो यहां पर फीड किया जाएगा दोस्तों? डेथ रिलेटेड डेटा. काफी बार हम वोटिंग करने जाते हैं, हम देखते हैं that there are even the votes of the people who have already passed away, right? So basically उनका जो वोट है दोस्तों वो कैंसिल कर दिया जाना चाहिए by the government, right? As per the rules, but still we see that even वहां पर उनकी वो डेटा अपडेटेड नहीं होता है, वहां पर हम सिर्फ उनकी डिटेल्स देखने को मिलती हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया सेड दैट वी विल बी कमिंग अप विद इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेथ रजिस्ट्रेशन डेटा. a very important initiative taken by Election Commission of India. Next question. Dash city in Dash officially became the member of the WHO's Global Network for Age-Friendly Cities and Communities. So GNAFCC के member कौन बने हैं? What is the city? What is the state? That is Kozhikode in Kerala, which has been included as a member. That's the right answer. Next question. So the Dash and the Dash successfully test-fired indigenously designed and developed multi-influence ground mine MIGM माइन को लॉन्च करने वाली वो दो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का नाम आपको बताना है. व्हाट इज इट? इट इज DRDO एंड द इंडियन नेवी जिन्होंने इसको लॉन्च किया. दोस्तों आप देख सकते हैं क्वेश्चन के अंदर सबमरीन्स की और हेल्थ शिप्स की बात हो रही है. सो अगेन DRDO इज अ कॉमन, तो इसके अलावा कौन हो सकता है? कोस्ट गार्ड हो सकती है या फिर इंडियन नेवी हो सकती है. सो बेसिकली यहां पर इंडियन नेवी इज द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 64. ऑप्शन सी इज द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. किस इंस्टीट्यूट को अप्रूवल दिया है बाय द मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन टू एस्टैब्लिश द ऑफ कैंपस सेंटर एट गिफ्ट सिटी? तो गिफ्ट सिटी गांधीनगर के अंदर एक ऑफ कैंपस बनाने का अप्रूवल किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को दिया गया है दोस्तों? इट हैज बीन गिवन टू इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड न्यू दिल्ली, जो कि अपने दुबई के अंदर अपना ये पहला इंटरनेशनल कैंपस लॉन्च करने वाले हैं. राइट. सो आउटसाइड इंडिया कैंपस पहले कहां होगा लॉन्च? दुबई के अंदर होगा. और इसके साथ साथ एक ऑफ कैंपस साइट लॉन्च हो रही है कहां पर? गिफ्ट सिटी के अंदर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो बुलबुल V2 को किस कंपनी ने लॉन्च किया? एक AI पावर्ड टेक्स्ट टू स्पीच मॉडल है जो कि 11 इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस को सपोर्ट करता है. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? दैट इज सर्वम AI. सर्वम AI. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ब्रह्मोस एरोस्पेस इंटीग्रेशन एंड टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी रिसेंटली एस्टैब्लिश की गई थी. कहां पर ये एस्टैब्लिश की गई? ब्रह्मोस एरोस्पेस इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी को एस्टैब्लिश किया गया एट लखनऊ, उत्तर प्रदेश. दैट्स द राइट आंसर. Next question. The theme of the National Technology Day 2025 we have already covered. National Technology Day we celebrate every year on 11th of May. Operation Shakti. सभी को याद है, right? Give me a thumbs up अगर आप सभी को याद है about the National Technology Day. Okay? तो सभी स्टूडेंट्स को याद है ये. अब यहाँ पर आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना था कि what is the theme. The theme is यंत्र युगांतर for advancing new technology research and acceleration. Option C is the right answer. Next question. Padma Shri award in renowned fisheries scientist Dr. Subbanna Ayappan passed away. He was the first non-agriculture scientist to head which premier research institution in India? इंडिया के कौन से प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूशन को इन्होंने हेड किया था? The name of that institution is Indian Council of Agricultural Research. और ICAR under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, they have come up with a very important अभियान that is विकसित कृषि संकल्प अभियान. हमने कवर किया विकसित कृषि संकल्प अभियान को. राइट. उसे भी इसी ने लॉन्च किया था. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ईरान एंड विच नेबरिंग कंट्री कंडक्टेड जॉइंट स्पेशल फोर्सेस मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज आरास 2025? तो ईरान ने कौन सी कंट्री के साथ आरास 2025 एक्सरसाइज कंडक्ट की थी दोस्तों? उसके बाद हम देख चुके हैं ईरान और इजराइल के बीच में भी काफी टफल हुआ. राइट. सो व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट कंट्री? दैट इज अजरबैजान. अजरबैजान के साथ इन्होंने इस एक्सरसाइज को कंडक्ट किया. द नेम इज आरएस एक्सरसाइज between Iran and Azerbaijan. Next question. So globally renowned agricultural scientist from India जिनको क्रॉफोर्ड फंड मेडल के साथ नवाजा गया है, उन्होंने एग्रीकल्चरल रिसर्च में काफी ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन दिया. दैट्स व्हाई दैट पर्सन हैज बीन कॉन्फर्ड recognized for her work, for his work. What is the name of the person? The name of the person is Kadambot Siddiqui. Kadambot Siddiqui is the right answer. Now guys, can anybody tell me the name of the person who has become the first person from the CISF? तो CISF की वो पहली पर्सन जिन्होंने सबमिट किया है माउंट एवरेस्ट को. Can anybody tell me the name of that person? What is the name of that person? Without option, you need to tell me the right answer to this question, guys. A very important part. I want all of you. I am expecting that आप सभी इस क्वेश्चन का सही आंसर दे पाएंगे. Absolutely right. I can see in the chat box. So many people have given me the right answer. Harshal, Fruity, Gururaj. Everybody has given the right answer. Geeta Samota is the right answer. Absolutely right. So next question. So Dash achieved a historic milestone by becoming first state in the country to be officially declared fully literate. तो fully literate होने वाली वो पहली स्टेट कौन सी है दोस्तों? That is Mizoram. Mizoram is the first state to be declared fully literate in our country. Okay, that's the right answer. Next question. International organization signed an agreement with Ministry of Ayush. Ministry of Ayush के साथ इन्होंने agreement sign किया है for working on the traditional medicine. तो traditional medicine तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं आयुर्वेद, योग, यूनानी और सिद्ध के अंदर हम ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन को बनाने का काम किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ करने वाले हैं? that is Ministry of Ayush along with the World Health Organization. Option C is the right answer, right? So health की बात हो रही है, which institution will be there? WHO is there. अगर हम बात करें वर्ल्ड हेल्थ डे की, तो दोस्तों लास्ट मंथ में हमने कवर किया था वर्ल्ड हेल्थ डे. World Health Day is celebrated every year on the date on which WHO was established. What is the date? The date is 7th of April. किस किसको याद है ये डेटा, मुझे बताइए कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर, कौन कौन जानता है इस डेटा को. तो हमने कवर किया था लास्ट सेशन के अंदर, सॉरी लास्ट मंथ के सेशन के अंदर, इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल. सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डेज को कवर किया था, राइट? सो वर्ल्ड हेल्थ डे अभी हमने क्यों कवर किया? क्योंकि WHO इज देयर इन द न्यूज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द फर्स्ट इंडियन टू विन अ फॉर्मूला 2 स्प्रिंट रेस. फॉर्मूला 2 स्प्रिंट रेस को जीतने वाले पहले इंडियन पर्सन का क्या नाम है? द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन इज कुश मैनी. कुश मैनी इज द राइट आंसर. द पर्सन हु हैज बेसिकली become first person to win a Formula 2 sprint race. Now guys, we are moving on to the last question of the today's session, that is, you have to tell me here what is E-Hansa, on which India is going to initiate developmental works. India E-Hansa पर काम करने वाला है. आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन कौन से काम बेसिकली किससे ये रिलेट करता है, ये आप मुझे बताएंगे कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. सो 5 ऑप्शंस आपके दिए गए हैं. अ हाई एल्टीट्यूड सर्वेलेंस बलून, indigenously developed 2-seater electric trainer aircraft, solar powered satellite launched for climate studies, reusable launch vehicle developed by ISRO, a bioengineered drone for agricultural spraying. See guys, हंस की बात करते हैं तो हंस flies, right? हंस is a bird. So similarly अगर हम बात करें, so let me tell you here, जब इंडिया के अंदर ट्रेनिंग की जाती है दोस्तों एयरक्राफ्ट के ऊपर, so बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा आता है. क्यों? क्योंकि जब हम ट्रेनर एयरक्राफ्ट्स बुलाते हैं, सो बेसिकली दे आर क्वाइट वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. सो व्हाई नॉट वी आर हैविंग समथिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया ओनली. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर वर्किंग ऑन द E-Hansa. दैट इज अ इलेक्ट्रिक ट्रेनर एयरक्राफ्ट बाय CSIR NAL, and that's why this option B is the right answer. I can see in the chat box Gururaj, Harshal, Abhinay, Fruity, everybody has given the right answer guys. You guys are rocking throughout the whole session, and that was the end of this session. So I know that it was really a long session guys, but yes, you have covered the most important current affairs from the month of May 2025, right? तो हमने May 2025 का important current affair cover किया. We have covered ESI current affair, finance current affair, and the other general awareness current affairs which are not the part of our syllabus when we relate it with the regulatory bodies examinations, but still questions are being asked in the examination. And now one homework that I have already given you guys, to all the people, that you have to tell me here कि माइंड मैपिंग टेक्निक का यूज करना आप मुझे प्रैक्टिकली करके बताएंगे. सी मैंने आपको बता दिया, राइट? बट आप मुझे करके बताएंगे इन द कमेंट सेक्शन कि भाई आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से रिलेटेड अगर हम एक एग्जांपल लेकर चलते हैं तो हमने कितने न्यूज आर्टिकल्स को कवर किया, कौन कौन से आर्टिकल्स है, ये आप मुझे बताएंगे कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर, राइट? सो थैंक यू गुरुराज एंड फ्रूटी फॉर योर काइंड वर्ड्स हियर, एंड आई थिंक इट्स योर पार्टिसिपेशन that makes these sessions more successful and productive, right? So I hope कि दोस्तों आप सभी ने enjoy किया होगा आज के सेशन को काफी अच्छे से. तो ESI, finance, GA current affairs खत्म हो चुका है. May month is really very important. It will be there in your timeline for the upcoming examinations. So please ensure कीजिए इस सेशन को आप अच्छे से रिवाइज करें, अच्छे से एक बार दोबारा से इस सेशन को देखें. एंड अगेन इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू दैट यू जस्ट एंजॉय दिस जर्नी of covering these current affairs, of preparing for the examination. Do not ever take it as a burden guys. So जब भी हम burden लेकर चलते हैं, so क्या होता है कि we feel really heavy कि यार ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है. क्यों ना let's just enjoy this journey. Let's just enjoy each and every moment of this journey. I know that there is a lot of data, lot of things to do. But if we are doing something by crying, or if we are doing something with the smile on our face, I think the second part is really more better, right? So let's enjoy each and everything. Let's enjoy each and every moment. Let's not make anything burden on ourselves. तो burden ना बने वो कैसे होगा दोस्तों? जब हम रेगुलर बेसिस पर हम कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ डेडिकेटेड एफर्ट्स डालेंगे, then only we will be able to see that yes, we are enjoying each and every moment, right? अब दोस्तों आप में से किसी की अगर कोई भी क्वेरी है, please feel free to ask me your queries in the comment section. Apart from that, अगर आपको कोई mentorship guidance चाहिए, so you can definitely share your queries at hello@edutap.co.in. You can share your queries by calling us at 8146207241, right? So do not worry, whatever the problem you are facing, be it a small or a bigger one, we are there We have got your back, right? Do not worry about it. We will be resolving all your queries. So Praveen is asking, sir, how to digest all of this or make maximum out of it? So Praveen, what you can do that just divide, अगर हम इस सेशन की बात करें, so just divide this session into, you know, like 6 parts. ये 3 hours का सेशन है, right? आधा आधा घंटा डेली बेसिस पर देख लीजिए, ओके? फिर एक बार पीडीएफ के साथ उसको रिवाइज कर लेना. सो इससे क्या होगा, यू विल बी एबल टू कवर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स. आपको चीजें बहुत सारी याद रहेंगी, और जितनी ज्यादा बार हम रिविजिट करते हैं इन चीजों को, उतनी ज्यादा हमें चीजें याद रहती हैं, राइट? और जितना ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट के साथ करते हैं तो हमें और ज्यादा याद रहती हैं. तो इसलिए दैट्स व्हाई आई वाज टेलिंग यू कि बर्डन के साथ करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली उस प्रेशर के साथ क्या होगा, you will tend to forget the important details. It's better that enjoying it is really the most important aspect, because it will also help you to have a good memory because you are feeling good, right? So that is very important. So यहाँ पर जितनी ज़्यादा बार आप रिविजन करेंगे, it's really very important. इसके अलावा क्या नहीं पढ़ना है ये भी हम आपको बता रहे हैं दोस्तों. क्या पढ़ना है, क्या सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये भी हमने कवर कराया. रिपोर्ट्स, स्कीम्स, करंट अफेयर्स, एवरीथिंग इज डन. Next week you will be having your RBI news tab document as well, right? So I really believe that is also going to be a very awesome session for all of you, because RBI notifications are very important. And I hope that I have answered your query, Praveen, right? If yes, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay, so the only way to digest these current affairs is to revisit them again and again, and also to basically cover them with a proper approach. Like the GA जनरल अवेयरनेस की बात करते हैं, हम उसको माइंड मैपिंग टेक्निक के साथ कवर कर सकते हैं, राइट? अगर हम ईएसआई की बात करते हैं, फाइनेंस की बात करते हैं, फाइनेंस में अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन सी दैट कृतिका मैम इज एक्सप्लेनिंग यू ईच एंड एवरी कॉन्सेप्ट इन अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल मैनर. ईएसआई की बात करें तो यू कैन यूज द निमोनिक्स हियर, राइट? You can see the CT360 series session where we are helping you to retain these important information with the help of some mnemonics, some phrases which basically helps you to retain the information. So these are the different ways in which you can basically digest these current affair articles, and making it more easier to not just understand but also to retain from examination point of view. Okay, now I can see that there are no more queries in the chat box. That means we are good to conclude this session, guys. It was really great to have all of you here. Now we will be meeting you in the next session. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.